All right. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to episode 23 of the Dirty Controller Boys podcast. Hello, Howler.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, it's truly been 29 episodes long.
Yep. As Crash Bandicoot would say, whoa.
Would he? I don't know what he says.
He does say whoa. He says whoa.
Wow.
Not, yeah. Well, yeah. Anyways, how you been?
I
You know,
mean,
we talked off screen, but
do you want the real answer, or like do you want me to just lie and say everything's fine?
I mean, if you feel comfortable saying what's on your mind.
Alright, yeah, North America has been taken out of League of Legends. They lost.
Oh, I thought this was like a very,
Oh
very
no, this isn't
deep,
serious. This is
deep and
completely just
personal.
bullshit.
Like,
No, not at all.
America's taking my money, and it's like, yeah, that's true. America's
They
taking your
took my
money.
job.
They're taking our jobs.
Um,
They're,
no.
they're
So
taking the jobs from the North American team. That's what they're doing.
North America, each team went 1-5, and it's 3 different American teams that were in the playoffs, basically, for league. And the last one just got disqualified today
Oh, disqualified? Why?
because they lost. I mean,
Okay.
I guess there's a better word for it. I don't really know off the top of my head.
They
lost.
They lost, yeah. Because disqualified in like a sporting sense seems like they did something they weren't supposed to do. Like they were using like an aim bot, even though I don't think aim bots are needed in League, right?
You could have a script, but it'd be so hard to do it. It's the same thing at any event. Like when you're using a computer that's given to you to be played, like they would probably notice that you put something on it or whatever. Anyways, regardless of that, I mean, like I'm not like
I was gonna ask
or anything, but that sucks. I would have liked to see. I would have liked to see North America like go further. To be fair, they're not good usually. This year it seemed like they were good, and then I watched the Koreans, the Japanese, the Chinese, even the Australians. Fuck my goddamn.
Australians are good.
Americans, huh?
Australians are good.
No, they're supposed to be worse than us.
Oh, damn.
Pretty fucking disappointing, man.
Damn. So who'd they get eliminated by?
It's a mixture. I think Cloud9 had, what did they have? They had LCK and LPL, I think, which I think is Chinese and Korean. I can't remember what LPL is. I think it's Chinese.
It's like I don't know.
No, I know. It's hard to keep track of because like I don't really pay attention too much to it. I pay attention to like the big names like Faker and T1. Those Faker's Korean, I believe, and the team itself is a Korean team. And Faker's known as pretty much the best League of Legends player ever. So like kind of like things like that. Like I know all like the big stuff. I don't really particularly know everything else. Like which teams go where or whatever. Anyways, the overall thing is just that they lost. So it looks like we have the only thing close to like who I'm gonna like root for now would be the European team, which is Rogue. So hopefully they can do well. I think they're gonna get beat out still, just because everyone else did. So it's probably gonna be the winners this year will either be T1, Gen.G, or RNG. One of those 3, I think. Which again, like I know that means nothing to you, but I think that's what's gonna happen.
It's okay.
Yep. So that's like been a lot of my week is watching that because it's been going on for a couple days now.
Well, sad that the Americas could not have won.
Yeah, I mean it's like watching soccer, right? You know America's not going to win, but you want to hope.
Yeah, I mean that's how my family is when the World Cup happens and like El Salvador is in there, but we know like El Salvador's team will never win. So it's understandable.
They probably have a better chance than America.
At League? Oh.
No.
It's soccer?
At soccer.
Oh, I thought you meant
I
like...
watched the World Cup, man. I like watching the World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hype event. It's like the Super Bowl. But I think I mostly care about the Super Bowl party than the actual Super Bowl.
I love Super Bowl food, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty good. When's the Super Bowl? It's supposed to be...
Oh.
Next month? Supposedly?
No.
When's Super Bowl?
The Eagles are 5-0, I think, right? I don't know if the game's over. Super Bowl should be does December sound right? Jeez, this fucking hurts.
I don't know, man. I don't know anything about the footballs. Anyways.
February 12th.
I guess moving from that. Anything else you did with your week? Besides being sad, besides being sage.
I I got what's it called? I got a seal done on I got a seal done on Destiny called Conquer. Just had to do all the Grandmaster Nightfalls. I don't know. I played some Destiny. That was fun. I Destiny. Played some League. Watched Hubie Halloween again. Love Hubie Halloween. Adam Sandler is hilarious, and it's probably actually a terrible movie, and people don't like it, but I did. And then what was the other thing? What's it called? Oh, I watched that Will Ferrell movie.
Which one?
I can't think of the name.
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah.
Is it Land of the Lost?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching a little bit of that.
I love Land of the Lost, man.
Yeah, I guess.
Wow. Hey.
No, because like I was rewatching. I didn't finish it, but like I was rewatching a little bit of it. I'm like, I remember this movie. Like a lot of the jokes were like really landing for me back in the day, but it's just like now where I'm like, none of the jokes are really landing, and it's been years since I've seen this movie. But I don't know. Maybe like later on in the movie.
Yeah, you wouldn't get it. It's a cool guy thing.
Yeah, I guess. I'm not cool. Anything else?
Nah, that's pretty much it.
Wow, so only Destiny and Hubie Halloween and then Sage
Yeah.
Sageness?
Hubie Halloween's hilarious. Watch him shoot. That's from the movie. He says, "Want some soup?" And then people go, "Ha ha ha ha."
Okay.
I was one of those people that laughed.
Okay. Sorry, my cat is like moving. Do you want to hear about my week?
I mean, if I have to.
All right. Do you want to hear about my sageness? Why I'm sage?
Yeah. How sad, Jay, you are.
So this is part of the news week as well, but
oh yeah.
Yeah. The whole thing that's going on with the voice actress for Bayonetta. That shit happened literally yesterday, and I woke up to that shit. Not a good feeling. It does not feel good. Because right now I'm contemplating on whether or not of canceling my pre-order, but at the same time, there's a lot of things going through my mind, specifically at the fact that, Platinum is a company that is not doing well financially, and we'll talk about that, because there are some other things that kind of relate to Platinum, in the news week. So, and at the same time, I don't know, like I said, I'm very conflicted, but I think overall, like, Bayonetta 3 was meant to be a stream game for me, rather than something I would enjoy on my personal time, which I probably still would enjoy my personal time.
Well, they got a different actress for her, right?
Yes, so like I said, we'll talk about this because
Yeah,
I kind of went through like the whole timeline of like events and shit like that.
I guess the reason I was asking, just it's sad at this
Yeah,
point.
it's very sucky. But besides that, I didn't really play anything this week as well. I played a little bit, obviously because I was getting hyped for Bayonetta. I'm currently playing through Bayonetta 1, and it is a good game. It is fun.
Wow, no
Uh
Destiny.
no Destiny. No Deadney. Um and then for the stream, well, what else did I play personally? Oh, I tried to get back into Diablo 2. I made some progress, but I'm still in Act 3. And then besides that, I feel like I played something on. Oh, I was playing Mutant Year Zero, which is
Huh.
a turn-based RPG, tactical RPG. I like that, but it makes me realize that I'm very shitty at strategy. uh because there are moments in that game where I'm like, oh man, like I like it's almost like a Dark Souls kind of sense where it's like, damn, like I feel so good because like I finally got this like whole battle down, like I completed it, we're all good. And then I step into the next zone, and then there are like enemies that are like fucking everywhere, and it's just like three in your party, and you got to take care of like all these fucking dudes, and they're like level like 35, and while you're like level 30, and it's just like it's very weird, but I really like that game. But I'm just taking my time with it. Like I'm not trying to like run through it like I did with fucking Lords of the Fallen, which I'm surprised I even beat that game, but still. And same thing with Dead Rising 3, because like when I was playing Dead Rising 3, I just like didn't care as much. But not to say Dead Rising 3 was a bad game. It's okay. That's what I can say overall.
A bad game.
I think I'm more in love with the idea of Dead Rising rather than the story and the games.
Okay.
But yeah, what else I've been playing? Uh yeah, nothing really not really anything of notice. Like I said, as for personal games, yeah, mostly those, just continuing on playing those or like starting some stuff up that I was like getting myself hyped over for. And as for like
Sorry.
stream stuff, it's okay. I forgive you. As for stream stuff, I just beat House of Ashes. The what is it called? The Dark Pictures Anthology, that's what it's called.
Okay.
And it was good. It was okay. Like I thought it was a pretty okay game. Because it's just an interactive story game. I'm kind of miffed as well because the recording I had apparently for the last part had audio crackling from the game, which I had to see if maybe the audio, I don't know, like I have to check on like my editor, but yeah, the game audio was like crackly as fuck, and I'm really pissed off about that, but I don't know why that happened. Um and then for like a couple days after playing the Dark Pictures Anthology, I was trying to figure out like what to play next. And so I was playing some fighting games because Guilty Gear Strive is doing their cross-platform beta test. So people on PS4 and PS5 can play each other. Which surprisingly not that many people were on, which is kind of nuts. And then I think not yesterday, Saturday, I played a little bit more of Guilty Gear Strive. A lot more people were there, but not as like a crazy amount. And then after I played Strive, I was playing a little bit of DNF Duel, and I haven't booted that game up since like released. Uh, so as I was playing, there was somebody that came into the chat that was like, "Hey, you want to play some DNF Duel?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So we played some DNF Duel. That person is fucking incredible at that game. That we're playing and they were just like curb stomping me, and I was like, holy shit. And they were like, yeah, like I play this game pretty often. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. I just want to shout out to the person's name, going by their Twitch name, Ichigo. So like they were just like, yeah, we were just having, well, I was having fun, but yeah, I was getting just curb stomped. And then a second person came into the chat and was like, hey, you guys playing in a lobby? And we're like, yeah. So a third person came in and was playing, and then I was like, oh, why don't you two guys play? So basically for like a good bit of the stream, I was just watching these two people who were very, very, very good at this game just play one another, and I was just like losing my fucking mind. Cause I was like, holy, like it was like almost like top tier level like playing of the game, and I'm just like, because like one guy was playing as a Crusader. If you've seen Crusader's design in DNF Duel, he looks like big buff Jesus with a hammer. And then the other person, Ichigo, was playing as Kunoichi, who's like the elf ninja girl. Mm-hmm. And just seeing the crazy shit that they were doing to one another, and just like, it was bonkers. But like DNF Duel in general is a bonkers fighting game, because it's a game that you have to really put a lot of pressure on on your opponent, because it doesn't really give you that many options for like defense. So it's more of like go at it, like really go hard at this game. And it's funny because a lot of people were like talking about how like a lot of the characters in the game were like really, really OP, and developers came out with like a patch basically not nerfing any of the characters, just giving characters buffs. So like the game has like overall has not been nerfed at all. It's just been buffed like increasingly. So it's just an interesting game to watch like people who are obviously really good at it play. And then yesterday I started up No More Heroes 2, because I forgot I bought a copy of No More Heroes 3, which came out on PS5 and PC like this month. So I have that copy, and that was a game that I really wanted to play, No More Heroes 3, so I'm like, I might as well play 2 because I never played 2. And now playing it, I love No More Heroes. I love Suda51's quirkiness. I love his like weird like abstract meta humor when it comes to like certain things in his game. And yeah, No More Heroes 2 is pretty fun. You were there during the stream, and you were just looking at like the weird fucking mini games that were going on in that game.
So confused on what the fuck was happening.
Yeah, No More Heroes is just known for that like weird shit of like you have to do side jobs in order to get money to like progress. It's very bizarre, but it's kind of like the downtime of that game, because if you were to play that game, it's essentially almost like a boss rush kind of. Where you go into like a corridor, you fight enemies, and then get to the boss, and you fight the boss. So that's why the game kind of needed, I guess in a sense, it's kind of padding in the game, because like you need the money in order to progress further. So yeah, I love No More Heroes. I'm very excited to play No More Heroes 3. Because I hear really good things about No More Heroes 3, especially the PS5 and the PC ports of those games. And yeah, I also bought like the sequel to Somnium Files, and I also bought this a game called Sakuna of Rice and Ruin, I think it's called. So, and then I bought today like some other games that were on sale. I basically bought like whatever can be played on PS5 of the Star Ocean games. Because yeah, Star Ocean. Because Star Ocean, the Divine Force, I think is coming out like next month. I played the demo for that. I thought it was alright, but I keep hearing like the other games are actually a little bit better. And they're like super cheap, like the majority of them. There's like a remake for the first game that like was originally on the PSP, but like it wasn't until recently that it came out to different consoles and stuff like that. Where here, like, if you want to start with any Star Ocean game, start at the first, and obviously, I'm eventually gonna try to play that. But yeah, I got pretty much the majority of the Star Ocean games, and then I also got this Gundam game, which I keep hearing is pretty good. It's called Gundam. What is it? Gundam Code Fairy, I think it's called. I don't know why. I kind of want to get into Gundam because the new Gundam was announced. Oh, fuck, what is it called? Gundam. Oh yeah, Mobile Suit Gundam Battle Operation Code Fairy. That's what it's called. Uh, it looks like a really interesting action game. But the reason why I want to kind of get into Gundam a little bit more because I watched like maybe like the first couple episodes of like the OG Gundam, which came out in like the 70s or like the 80s. And it was pretty all right. But the newest Gundam that came out is called like the Witch of Mercury. Yeah, Mobile Suit Gundam: The Witch from Mercury. Which essentially the power of Gundam is lesbians now, so I'm interested.
I'm confused.
Yeah, I'm very confused as well, but like I'm probably gonna watch it. I'll probably watch it one of these days, and probably the next episode that we do, I'll update you, like what the fuck's happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mobile Suit Gundam. It's always a series I've been interested in. Well, not always, I would have to say. It wasn't until like fucking recently where I kind of got into like mecha anime because, obviously back in the day I didn't give a shit about mecha anime. Because I think the fact that like I know Gundam was talked about and how like political it was. It wasn't until Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann that I got into mecha anime, where I'm like, okay, giant robots is pretty fucking cool. If you ever want to like try to get into mecha anime, I highly recommend Gurren Lagann because it's by the people that did recently the cyberpunk anime. So yeah. Anything else that I did video game wise? What happened?
I was coughing. I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought you were laughing at me. You're laughing at me while I'm trying to talk about my Gundams?
Absolutely not.
Hold on. My cat wanted to leave. She wanted to leave me. She's so cute.
Show cat.
No, she actually just left. I opened the door so she could leave because she was staring at the door, and I just opened it and she just walked out.
Chonch hates cat? Question mark.
Is Chonch bad cat owner?
Is Chonch actually a lenity?
Abusement?
Abusement.
I'm trying to think. What else have I played? Yeah, I think I'm at a point where like I'm trying to find something that I'm gonna obviously sink my time into that I'm going to enjoy. Fighting games I'm trying to get back into, obviously. But there was I kind of want to play a farming simulator game. And
yes.
So my thing is that I keep hearing about the Rune Factory games. Have you heard of Rune Factory?
Yeah.
Okay, so Rune Factory 4 and 5 are on PC. 4 is on PS4 and PC. And I hear that 4 is pretty good. Is it 4 or 5? Or 3?
I've never played Rune Factory, so I don't know.
Well, Rune Factory I hear is a pretty good farming sim game where it has like little dungeon sections and stuff like that. So I'm probably gonna play that at a point. But like I said, I'm at a point where I'm trying to figure out like what I can spend my time into and
right.
What I feel like would be a good time because I like I said, I recently, playing Dead Rising 3 and then playing Lords of the Fallen, I was like I was putting my time into those, but I think overall I was not really satisfied in what I played. Because like I said, Lords of the Fallen was a really weird, janky game. And then Dead Rising 3 is like I like the concept, but I don't think I really like the execution that much. but I beat those. I don't know how, I don't know why, but I did because I'm a crazy person. So yeah, probably look for something. I think the last thing that I played that I put a shit ton of time into that I really fucking enjoyed was Fuga Melodies of Steel. The fucking anthropomorphic doggy cat people game in a tank. That's the game that I really enjoyed. But yeah, so yeah, that's basically what I've been playing on my personal time and on stream. And as for movies, not really watched that much. I don't remember if I mentioned this last week. I watched the new Hellraiser. I don't think I did mention this. No, right?
That again?
I watched the new Hellraiser.
Oh,
Yeah, baby.
how was that?
It was Hellraiser-ish. No, did you watch the original?
Mm, yeah.
Yeah, you watched the original. Do you remember anything of it?
Remember Spike Face?
Yeah, Spike Face. You mean Pinhead?
Oh man.
So, I kind of like the first movie. I wouldn't say I'm like a huge Hellraiser fan. This new one is pretty good. But the writing is kind of all over the place. The direction, it's really good. A lot of like the shots and like a lot of the like the cinematography is like really well done. And I think the thing that kind of makes this movie a bit better than the original is the designs of the Cenobites, the demon looking people.
Uh-huh.
Because so you know how like in the original movies like the Cenobites are like kind of like fucked up looking because like they have like flesh stuff happening with them and piercings and shit like that. It's still in the new movie, but they're going for a more like original interpretation of from the book.
Wow, they really went to the source material.
Yeah, this time they went to the source, which is hilarious because like the original movie was actually directed by Clive Barker, who's the writer of the short story. So I don't know.
Wow,
Yeah,
Clive was actually in production.
Clive was there. Oh God, that reminds me. There's this. He did two video games. He did a game called Undying, which I hear is pretty alright. Which shit, I should have played that for fucking October. But anyways, I could play a scary game anytime. And he also did another game, a PS3 Xbox 360 shooter called Jericho. Do you remember that?
No.
Okay. Long pause. Yeah, it was not good from what I've heard, but I know there was a point where I was like debating whether or not to buy it because I'm like I kind of want to go back to the shitty early PS3 360 era of like first person shooters, which were a lot of first person shooters. Um but yeah, anyways, Hellraiser. Yeah, they went for a much more naked design for the Cenobites in the new one. So they look just equally as fucked up. But yeah, they like I said, they tried to go for more of an more towards the material rather than like remaking the whole first movie. And yeah, like I said, the writing for like a lot of the characters is very goofy. You know what it almost feels like? The remake of The Evil Dead. That's what it kind of feels like. Where like there are a lot of characters that like you don't really care about. And like a lot of them kind of feel like fodder to like the evil that's going on. But basically your main character that you follow throughout the whole story is this this girl who just got out of rehab that's living with her older brother, and she's trying to like kind of get her life together. And then she gets told by this guy that she's dating that they could probably steal this thing that's been in a storage warehouse that he works at and probably sell it for money. And from then on, it kind of goes crazy because the thing that they take is the little cube that that does the hell raising. But yeah, like I said, I think
truly have hell raised.
yeah, they truly hell raise. I think the one cool thing, so how essentially the box works, is that you gotta like it's a puzzle. You remember that from like the old movie, is that like it's a puzzle box. So
no, I didn't pay attention to shit in that fucking movie, bro.
Okay. So let me explain the cool thing. But like in the new Hellraiser, they take the box. You're supposed to make a blood sacrifice every time you solve the cube in order to make it like turn into different stages. So that was basically the whole thing, was that like she was fucking around with the cube. Her brother accidentally takes the cube, activates it, and becomes one of the sacrifices. So basically the whole story is her trying to get her brother back. So there's a point where like she has to keep going on with she has to keep going with the puzzle and like trying to get her brother back. But there's one cool part where she is being chased down by the Cenobites, and she changes the cube again, and then a little blade sticks out. That's how you get blood sacrificed. So she takes the cube with the blade out and then sticks it in a Cenobite, and the Cenobite is a sacrifice. And I'm like, oh, that's actually kind of cool. That the bad guys essentially can be a sacrifice, that you could just stab them and you're, yeah. Yeah.
Smart.
It was a very smart move that I've seen in a horror movie. That's what I'm trying to get across.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's like the writing is really clunky. It's kind of
in the new one, right?
Yeah, in the new one, it's kind of clunky. There are moments where like you could really see coming from like far away, on like the direction it's gonna go into. But I think overall, if you're looking for like a horror movie to watch during the month of October, this is a good like thing to watch, because I don't think there's that many horror movies out to really watch. But I have made recommendations, I think, in previous episodes, that when I watch One Cut of the Dead, it's a very, very good horror comedy. It's very good. Highly recommend it. And then after that, I immediately watched the movie called The Sadness, which is a really fucked up horror movie. To the point where I think you might be uncomfortable. There's Wesley. There's that bitch, Wesley.
Hola.
That's right, bitch ass Wesley. We're just talking about our weeks, Wesley. Don't worry, you haven't missed anything. Yeah. Then I'm gonna ask you to read the news because you came in late. So I hope you read.
That's crazy.
That's
gonna be here by then. Haha.
All right. Well, Wesley's leaving then. All right. Bye, Wesley. How do I kick Wesley out?
I don't
know. So I'm just talking about the new Hellraiser movie that came out. I don't know if you've seen it yet, Wesley.
No idea what you're talking about.
Hellraiser? No? Okay.
Nope.
Okay. Well, Wesley hates horror movies. So yeah, The Sadness. Very fucked up horror movie. It's not for the weak of heart. The weak of heart? Yes. Yes? Faint of heart. There we go. Thank you, Wesley. That's what we keep you here for, the big bucks.
big bucks. Let me get some of those big bucks too, bro.
No, you'll get no big bucks because you keep playing Destiny. Well, Wesley plays Destiny. Well, I'm gonna have to take those big bucks back. No, like it's a very fucked up movie, but it's like I think I mentioned before, it's like one of those movies that like the people doing the special effects had like a lot of fun, I guess, because like the amount of blood squibs is just outrageous. It is fucking ridiculous on the amount of like blood squibs and shit like that. So yeah, I watched Hellraiser, and then I watched like two other things. Hold on. I'm still watching The Man in the High Castle on Amazon.
That's anime?
No, it's an anime series, Jesus. It is it's a live action series based off a book. You've probably seen like trailers for it, but like the concept is an alternate reality where the Nazis won. I think I mentioned this before. Like it's an alternate reality where the Nazis won and the Japanese won. We never bombed the Japanese. We never won in Germany or in Europe, I should say. So basically, it's a very interesting concept where Japan and Germany have agreed on like what territories to control in the U.S. So Germany controls like the eastern seaboard, while Japan controls like the western. So I'm currently like on season 2, but I haven't gotten that far in season 2. But
Sounds like it could be either really interesting or really boring.
It's interesting. There are moments where it can kind of be a little boring because it's a show of like a lot of political intrigue. But the main thing as to like why it's interesting is because there's a whole mystery going on where I'm surprised I didn't mention this in like another episode, but like the main character finds a film reel, and the film reel starts to show images of things that could be an alternate reality or a something that could happen in the future. So basically, I forget what film reel she saw, but like she saw a film reel of like of US troops winning the war. And she's like, "Wait, what is this? Like it doesn't make any sense. Like is this a movie?" Like but even then like movies like this like would be illegal. So I was like it can't be a movie. So basically she has to go on a whole quest to find the leader of the resistance, which is called the Man in the High Castle, which is a guy that knows about these tapes and basically kind of explains that yes, these are like alternate realities, but like I don't know how or why they exist. And then the other interesting aspect is a Japanese character who plays the trade minister, who's played by Shang Tsung from the Mortal Kombat movies.
Oh yeah.
Carrie. Oh God, I forget his name. Something Carrie. Hold on.
Soul is mine.
Yeah, Shang Tsung. Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa, that's the name. His whole character is that like he's experiencing like he's having like out of body experiences which he thinks are dreams, but in reality he's actually like teleporting to like other dimensions where like I said the US won the war. So he's like seeing this stuff and like trying to figure out what's going on. That kind of stuff. It's almost like do you remember the show Heroes? Hayden Panettiere, the guy who plays New Spock. Zachary Quinto? Forget his name? Yes? No?
No, not at all.
You're talking to me?
I'm talking to all of you.
What was the question?
Have you guys seen the movie? Have you guys seen the show Heroes? It was on like eight.
Like a couple episodes, maybe.
Okay, do you remember the character Hero?
Yes.
Yes.
The hero of heroes.
Essentially.
Absolutely fucking not.
Okay, anyways, it was kind of similar to that, where like Hero in Heroes had like that ability. I forget what it was. I think he had the ability of like traveling,
moving fast,
like going into the future and going back into the past, some shit like that. But
he would say, "Your soul is mine," and then magic happened.
Yeah. So, anyways, the concept of The Man in the High Castle is interesting. I don't know if I said The Man in the High Tower. Anyways, it doesn't matter. The Man in the High Castle is a very interesting. Like its whole world is interesting. That's what I can say overall. But I'm still on season 2. I think they ended it on season 4. But yeah, like I said, I still kind of want to see where it goes. And still watching JoJo Part 6. You know, still watching JoJo. Also makes me a little sad that they're kind of like dumping a lot of episodes rather than doing it weekly. Because right now, like, everybody has basically forgotten that JoJo Part 6 exists. And, like, the hype for it has, like, really, really died down because of the amount of, like, episode dumping Netflix has done for it. So, it's a little unfortunate. But I still really, really like it. And then that's for shows and shit like that. There might be something that I probably forgot, but that's what I remember so far. And I watched 2 other movies. I watched the Netflix Stephen King adaptation, Mr. Harrigan's Phone.
Oh. No?
I didn't like it.
Okay.
Do you guys want to know what the premise is for Mr. Harrigan's Phone?
I actually don't want to know because I actually think I want to watch this.
Okay, I'll let you go in blind, but it essentially has the kid. It has one actor that I didn't realize how fucking old he was. Donald Sutherland. You've probably seen Donald Sutherland in like a bunch of other things. But he is super old. I didn't realize how fucking old he was. And then the kid from It who plays Billy. Plays younger Billy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's that kid. Yeah, I didn't really like it that much. There were some. Well, actually, I don't think I can even say there's any redeemable qualities because it's just like there were a lot of moments when I was watching it where I actually started to laugh because like it was like a lot of scenes were supposed to be like very serious moments, but I just ended up laughing because of how dumb the situation was. So yeah, that was a movie. I'll let you watch that. When are we watching Morbius, bro? When are we watching Sonic 2?
Sonic 2, I'm down anytime. Morbius, I'm going to choke that motherfucker into my goddamn fucking mind somehow.
I have to see if Sonic 2 is still on Amazon. I think they might have taken it down.
I'm a vampire Batman. Watch out. Ugh. Jared Leto hair. Make better music. Stop fucking making movies, asshole.
Will Venom show up in Morbius? Who knows?
God, I hope fucking goddamn fucking Eminem makes the song for it, because apparently Jared Leto can only do one thing at a time.
Yeah, I can't wait till Eminem comes out and he's like, Morbius! Gotta hit that.
Morbius. So he's going up an elevator to the Empire State Building. Yeah,
yeah, Morbius.
And then the lights go out, and he's like, "But I'm Eminem. Why would I be scared?
Why would I be scared of Jared Leto Vampire Man? Why?" So yeah, Mr. Harrigan's Phone. I watched that, and I had to look it up because I'm like, is this an actual Stephen King like adaptation? And then I'm looking at it and like, yeah, it's a short story he did for a book that came out in 2020, and I'm like, oh, it's recent. I'm like, damn. We really try to go out there and like adapt anything Stephen King. And it's like, I get it. Like Stephen King has made some good source material, but like they're really like scraping the bottom of the barrel for like adaptations and shit like that. Oh, it is also hilarious because it feels like a commercial for iPhones. That's what it feels like. So keep that in mind. And then, yeah, just yesterday, I finally watched a movie that I have really wanted to watch for a long, long, long time, called Memories of Murder. So, have you guys seen Parasite?
No.
Okay.
Anime?
No, not the no, not the anime. No, not the anime. No, so this was the movie that that Korean director made, Bong Joon-ho.
Oh, no.
There's other movies he's done. Okja is another one that was on Netflix about like the pig hippo elephant thing.
Orkjan.
Okja, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Okja, he did that. He did the Snowpiercer movie with Chris Evans. What was the other one he did? He did the movie called The Host and another movie called Mother. I've seen basically all those movies. The one a lot of people keep talking about is Memories of Murder, which is a movie I haven't seen up until now. It is one of the best things I've seen in a while. And I realized that I really like his work because, okay, so basically the premise of this movie is around 1983 in South Korea, there was a spree of murders happening. And this movie is like loosely based off that. So they were trying to find a serial killer who was murdering a lot of these women that were just on the street, you know, going about their business at night. And like I said, there is a very interesting crime thriller. And it kind of puts things into perspective of like back in the day, like a lot of countries didn't have like DNA testing and stuff like that, so they had to outsource to other countries. So I think the context really helps with this movie because it wasn't until like later where I looked up, I'm like, oh, this is actually based off an actual crime that happened in this area of South Korea. So, oh god, I kind of want to go into spoilers. Fuck it, I guess I kind of go into spoilers about Memories of Murder. So yeah, the whole premise is them trying to find out who the serial killer is. Not necessarily what his motive is, but just to find this guy. And then you get to like near the end of the movie where they try to pin down this one guy that they have as a suspect. And they sent out a DNA test because they were able to find semen off this off one of the victims. And when they got the test results back, it basically said that the guy that they suspected was not the guy. And it just got to a point where like I feel like this is a movie a lot of people would really dislike, especially modern audiences, because the movie had no resolve. Because it literally does a time skip from 80s, I want to say 83, or like around the 1980s to 2003. And yeah, they just never caught the serial killer in the movie and in real life. They haven't caught the guy until 2019. So there's a character in the movie that does he's a detective, and his quirk in order to get people to tell him the truth is that he tells suspects to look him in the eye, to like if like they don't maintain eye contact with him, then they're lying. So he does this throughout the entire movie. We have the time skip happen, and we're following the detective that does that little quirk. So there's a moment where he decides, all right, I'm going to go revisit the first site where we found the first victim. And he's already a retired cop and stuff. So he goes there and he looks at the same place that he's looking at. You know, he's just wondering of like who could it have been, you know, all this thing. And then he gets approached by a little girl. And she's like, is there anything down there? He's like, nah. He's like, I'm just reminiscing. And she's like, oh, okay. She's like, I thought there would be something in there because I saw another man come here and he was doing the exact same thing you were doing. And he looks at her and he's like, do you remember his face? And she's like, no, he had a very common face. And he's like, what did he say about, you know, being here? And she tells him that essentially he was just there to reminisce as well about the things that he did. And basically the ending shot of the movie is you're on the detective's face staring at the camera. So it's supposed to be like this subtle like wall break of like him staring out to see anybody, you know, to see the audience, to maintain you know what is it called? Oh God. Yes, to maintain eye contact with him. And I didn't get it. I didn't get it at the end because I'm like, that's a very interesting shot to end the movie with. And then I read the context of it is that like it's based off a real thing that happened, and the reason why they did that was to be like, because it's supposed to be a message to say that the killer is still out there. Like the killer can be anybody. And it's just like that hits on so many levels of just like horror, of just like that person can just still be out there. The person could be in the movie theater with you. Like it just hits on so many levels. But yeah, like I said, it wasn't until 2019 where they actually caught the guy. Because I think something happened where he like he was in prison before they actually found like DNA analysis that it was him. He was already in prison, and then he eventually admitted to all the crimes that he did, and they had to actually, you know, like ask him, but like, what do you remember from that time? And yeah, he admitted to all of it. So yeah, it was like 2003 where like essentially the movie came out in 2003, and you know the killer was still out there. It's such a, if you have the context and you go into that movie, it's such a fucking crazy experience to have, or even like reading about it afterwards. But you know, spoilers. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Are you guys still there? Or did you guys fall asleep?
Wow.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. This is tough because you guys still have cameras. What happened to your camera, Wesley?
Sorry, I had to pee real quick, man.
Did you even hear what I said?
I heard most of it, yeah, but I had to pee.
Wow.
Literally at like the end, I was like, I gotta pee real quick. All right, I'll be
back. Yeah, it is a very, very good movie. But like I said, because I was also, the other thing was that I was planning on buying this movie physically, and then I was just looking at the reviews and stuff like that, and like a lot of people were pissed off that like, oh, like it leaves at a cliffhanger, and it's like, oh, that seems kind of a shame, but you have to understand the context of it. It's like it's based off a real thing that happened, so it's like it's just like there's layers to it. But I really like this this director's stuff that he's made so far. He hasn't made that many movies. You know, I talk about Parasite. Parasite is like one of the best things I've seen in a while. It is very, very good. My cousin didn't like it, but I really liked that movie. I also saw Mother. Mother was also really good because it kind of felt like a precursor to Parasite. And then The Host was also kind of like a fun little like horror movie with a monster. And what was the other one? Snowpiercer was pretty good. Oakja.
Oh, you watched Snowpiercer?
Snowpiercer? I watched the movie.
So good, right?
Yes.
What's wrong here?
Huh?
What's wrong?
No, because the guy that I'm talking about is the director of Snowpiercer.
Yeah.
He's a Korean guy, yeah. And I asked him, like, you guys seen Snowpiercer? None of you said anything. Oh.
Yeah, I literally just told you I had to pee. Remember?
Wow. You peed when I was talking about the movie?
I think you peed. I think I peed when you said something about Snowpiercer.
I think you peed. Might have peed at this point.
It's such a good movie.
It is. No, like that guy's work is really fucking good. It's really, really good. That's why, like, I really recommend watching Parasite, because I think Parasite is like one of the best things that he did. It obviously won a bunch of Oscars, but even before then, even before the whole Oscar thing, I kept hearing about how good this movie was, and then I bought it and I watched it, and I was like, I went into it blind, and I'm like, it is one of the best things I've seen in a fucking while. And I remember this whole thing about this guy ranting on Twitter, or on YouTube about the Oscars, about how Joker should have won instead of Parasite, because it came out the same time as Joker, and it was just this whole weird experience of just listening to this guy like talk about how like foreign movies shouldn't win more awards. It was bizarre. It was so fucking weird. But yeah, I highly recommend looking at Bong Joon-ho's stuff, like looking at more of his movies. Because I think Mother might actually still be on Amazon Prime. I'll probably send a link to Howler because Wesley hates when I recommend things to him. Right, Wesley?
Sure.
Yeah, see? So yeah, that's what I did with my week. Wesley, you got anything?
Bye.
You son of a bitch.
Not really. Word fucking found out I might become manager.
You?
Because like, yeah.
How long have you been there for?
6 months.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's because I'm awesome. So what?
I mean, that's pretty fast.
Exactly, because I'm awesome. What?
He's not laughing at you. He's laughing at the speed that it happened.
No, I'm laughing at
Yeah,
him.
because I'm awesome. What the fuck? Like,
No, I'm laughing at him and at the speed.
It's the reason that I'm not laughing, but like inside I'm laughing is because like I feel like the people there are just like, yeah, he showed up every day. We're good.
You like working here? No. All right, you're manager now. That's essentially what happened. So you might become
You want to tell
the
everyone else
manager.
what to do? Ready,
Yeah.
set, go.
Oh God, have fun with that, bro. Have
I'm
fun with
a manager. Whatchamacallit?
whatchamacallit.
Me and my coworkers are like now constantly playing either Overwatch 2 or Fortnite.
Mm-hmm. How's Overwatch 2?
It's Overwatch.
It's just Overwatch 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing.
It's funny and kind of sad, but like Bastion is no longer in the game.
What? They removed a character?
Yeah, like completely.
Weird. What controversy happened with Bastion?
His ult, it was like being able to be spammed like constantly.
Weird.
So, like in Overwatch 1, his ult was like he turned into a tank, was able to fire like I think 6 shots or something, or like be like on a 8-second like activation time or whatever.
Yeah.
But in 2, his ult was a giant mortar shot that apparently people found a way, I guess, to fire up most of 10 to like 12 shots or something, which is a lot more than you're supposed to, because I think it's only 1 shot and that's it.
So people found a way to get more shots?
Yeah, to like, I guess it was like a glitch or something, I don't know.
So Blizzard's plan was just to take out this character rather than patching it? Or finding the bug or debugging it?
Probably.
Weird.
I mean, they're probably like trying to figure out what caused it. That's why he's not like in game anymore.
Oh, okay. So they just put him on the bench essentially.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
like there's trophies attached to Bastion's character. And it's like if he's not in the game, you're gonna have to like change that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weird. You know what I just realized? Sorry, Wesley. Classic Tetris World Championship is happening today. Grand finals happen. God damn it. God damn it. Anyways, continue.
Man.
Yes, we truly are the Tetris. We are the Tetramino.
Wow.
Hey, here.
I can hear you.
Right? Like terrible.
Anything else you played or anything you watched?
I am currently playing Darksiders 3 again. I'm actually further than I was before. I'm currently trying to fight Lust. And her stupid boss fight.
Oh, Dark Riders 3, yeah.
Darksiders, yeah. I beat that.
Oh, Dark Rider, Strider, Hider, Fighters.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, did any of you guys get Genesis?
No.
No.
Mhm.
Oh, you got Genesis.
It's part of the PS thing.
Oh.
It's bad.
Yeah.
I got Genesis for PC, but like I got it like at pretty cheap.
Yeah, that thing went down in price real quick.
Yeah. Because I remember I played 3 and I'm like, all right, I kind of want to play Genesis, but I just never booted it up.
No.
So I commend Wesley on playing 3 because me and Mega simultaneously were playing, and we both hit the same bugs, which were load times, which were areas where it would glitch loading, and then you just have to restart the fucking system and play the game again. Not play again, but like play again from where you started. And most of the time we hit the same fucking bug again where it would just stop working.
Were you playing this?
I don't know if it's been patched, but
were you playing this on console?
yes, I was playing this on my PlayStation 5.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean it's a PS4 game. I'm assuming.
Yeah, because no, I heard that the console version of Darksiders 3 is like buggy as fuck.
Yes, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Again, like it sounds like Wesley is having an easier time, so maybe it was patched. But at the time when this was about a year ago, they were like, "We're not doing anything about it. We don't care."
Yeah, because it was already like long after they gave a shit about Darksiders, so it's just like
it's so sad because like Darksiders 1, I don't even know what it's called, just Darksiders, right?
Darksiders, yeah.
Yeah. That game was so fucking well made.
Mm-hmm. 2 was pretty good, but 2 was like story was not really that interesting. But I kind of liked Death.
See, I liked War way better. I don't know. I just the whole thing, like the story wise, it felt good.
Yeah.
And then like 2 kind of felt like it started being slower. I know it was like more open world and stuff, but it didn't feel as like.
Yeah, these games have gone through like weird gameplay like transitions, because like 1 was like very basic character action where you're like going through the world, and then 2 was like character action but at the same time big open world, which was like okay, and then 3 just changes the whole fucking thing where it's like, all right, this is gonna kind of play like Dark Souls, and I was just like, what?
Yeah.
3 felt really linear to me.
Oh yeah, and it's also very linear. That was also the other thing about 3.
I don't know. Honestly, if they're ever gonna do anything with that series again, I'd really just like a PS5 remaster of 1. That'd be cool. Even 2 would be fine too. I'll play that again.
I'll say there is a PS4 remaster.
No.
Wow.
You missed what I said. PS5 remasters.
I know, but like
I played the 4 remaster. I played 1. I played the original. I played the 4 remaster.
I mean,
anytime that game has like a new setup, I'll run it again.
Wow.
4 is cool, man.
I mean, yes, but just I don't know. Those versions are still pretty good. It's like do the last.
I want it to look better.
It's like do The Last of Us again for PS6.
Yeah, but this is a different game, not The Last of Us. I'm not playing the trash of us.
What was it?
Sorry.
I mean, which it'll probably end up doing, to be honest.
Yeah, Last of Us Part 2 remake for PS5.
Can't wait.
Yeah, can't wait. Can't wait for the shitty writing to happen, but you know, that's besides the point.
Wait for The Last of Us 3. Go ahead, what's up?
Yep. All right, yeah, Wesley, so you loving Darksiders 3? Big fan of Fury?
That's not bad. I like her character, her whole like angry design about like everything.
Very angry. You love her simp ghost woman?
The one that like backtalks her like every chance she gets.
Oh, I thought she was simping on her. That she was like,
well, she does simp. She simps, but like there are moments where she like talks back, and then Fury's like, "I'm sorry, what?" And then the Watcher's like, "Oh, nothing,
nothing. Haha, just joking. LOL. Stomp on me, mommy."
Oh my god.
So how far are you in the game? Oh yeah, you said Lust, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember how far that is.
Jesus.
Well, I talked about Bong Joon-ho, and this motherfucker went out to go crackle some fried chicken.
What? I peed.
Yeah. You know how you're peeing and you pee so hard that it sounds like fried chicken crackling?
I've never peed hard enough to make it sound like it's crackling fried chicken, apparently.
Oh, you have the weak
That's
stream.
wild.
You have the weakest stream.
No, I just think my pee's not hot. You might want to go get checked for ganjaria.
Oh, I might have to check. Anyways,
You might have the marijuana in your stream.
ganjaria.
Yeah.
Fair. Anyways, Lust.
Yeah.
Anything else you've been playing? Or that's just been taking up most of your time?
What have I been playing? Yeah, pretty much mainly that, Fortnite and Overwatch.
Wow. Very jank.
Yeah, I mean, we're having fun, so it's like whatever, you know.
Yeah, no, that's fair. As long as you have fun. Oh, I think I talked to you guys about this, that I bought a new PSU, so that's coming in like next week.
I don't know what that is.
Power supply
Oh,
for my computers,
okay.
because Amazon had their whole
Sales.
their whole dealio, and there were some graphics cards on sale, but I realized that in the end result, I'm still gonna have to get a new power supply. So
Did you need a new power supply?
For new graphics cards, yeah.
Oh, you're putting in a graphics card, okay.
I do want to buy a new one eventually.
I don't know. Those 4,000 whatever ones look like.
Oh, that's something.
They're
Well,
very expensive.
I didn't put this on the news, but apparently they took down the 12 gigabyte version for the 4080, because a lot of people were pointing out that like it's no different. They should have called it like the 4070 rather than a 4080. But Nvidia, their reasoning was because it was just going to confuse the consumer, because I think there was a 12 gig version and a 16 gig version. So yeah, either way, it's like spec wise, people were like it should just have been called a 4070 rather than a 4080 12 gig. Stupid. So yeah, like I said, I was trying to look at fucking GPUs, but the ones that Amazon was selling for like discounted prices was the Zotac GPUs, which apparently like a lot of people were saying that Zotac is not a good brand to buy off because their customer service is really ass. So I'm just gonna wait a good bit. Well, I think even then Wesley kind of like talked me out of it, because he was like, just wait till like Cyber Monday or Black Friday. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. I could wait. If I don't get a TV, because there's that, because I do want to get a new TV, but like buying an OLED TV now is fucking ridiculous. Yeah. So you guys do anything else? Both of you? Anything else come to mind?
Before I came here, I played volleyball, which is dope.
You went outside, Wesley?
Yeah, and touched grass. It's insane.
No maidens? No
maidens.
No maidens. That's fair. That's cool.
Maidenless, but I touched grass.
Wow.
That's cool.
He touched grass and lost 25% PvP powers.
Wow.
Yep.
I believe that.
So now
no, congratulations though on manager. That's awesome.
Yeah. Congrats, I guess, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not confirmed. Like the main the main overall manager was like, "Oh yeah, let's get you on track to become a trainer, and then if you want to be KM, which is kitchen manager." And I was like, "Haha, dope."
Yeah, I guess that could be interesting.
Gotcha. No, I just mean that's good though.
Yeah. If you do get it,
though,
congrats. If they're gonna pay you more, then good. That's what I say.
I mean, probably it's probably not gonna be much though, which is dumb.
Yeah, I mean, if they give you like a 5-cent raise, then that's a big difference.
I think I'm probably just gonna go from like 6, probably be like 18, 20 bucks maybe.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
18, 20 bucks?
Yeah.
It's not bad. I don't know.
Anyways,
I don't know if you want to make those buku bucks, Wesley. Or I don't know, maybe negotiate. Go in there, be like, "Yo, if you want me to become manager, you gotta pay me $1 million in I don't know, diamonds."
You know what Bezos makes? Double it.
Yeah, double what Bezos makes. Call me
and then
Bezos
you got
too.
your kitchen manager, or else I walk.
Yeah, exactly. You got to negotiate, Wesley.
This company's not even worth half
Yeah.
of Bezos.
They just be like, all right, man, we'll see you later, brother.
Bye.
They're going. Like, actually, you know what? Jump him before you leave.
Fair enough. All right. So I guess we finished our weeks. You guys want to take a break, or do you guys want to? Oh,
Chainsaw Man came out, and I saw the episode. Dude,
oh, that's right. I gotta watch that. I keep hearing it's so fucking good.
It was cool. Can you ruin it for my man right here?
No.
Okay, so this guy.
No, he's a chainsaw man.
He's a chainsaw man.
No.
Oh no.
And he goes vroom vroom.
How fat are his calves?
No, so I've been meaning to read the manga, but I just never did. I think I'm gonna read the manga first, and then obviously get into the anime, because they only showed the first anime, well, the first episode, I should say, right?
Yes, the first anime is what they showed. Yeah,
the first anime is. It's being done by the original animation studio that did the first season of Attack on Titan, right? Yeah,
I believe so.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear it's fucking great. I mentioned this to Haller, that like this Gundam anime came out recently where it's like the power of Gundams is lesbians, essentially. But I really like the designs. It looks really interesting. I hear it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, he likes the designs, guys. Bite slip.
Yeah, I haven't been keeping up with anime besides obviously JoJo, but you know, JoJo's hype has kind of really died down.
Yeah, I bet you wish JoJo was the best.
I mean, it's still gonna have its fans. That's the thing, but it's just like really unhype on like doing it on a whole episode dump, because they dumped like the first 12 episodes on Netflix, I think, earlier this year, and then recently they dumped the whole fucking middle half this month, and then they're planning on dumping the rest in like December, and then that's it for JoJo Part 6, and it's just like, wow.
Delete JoJo.
Delete JoJo? Wow. You don't even like the JoJo?
No.
Watch JoJo with me.
No, the show's so bad.
Why? Why you think it's bad?
It just feels lame.
I mean, okay, sure.
And then the art feels bad all the time.
Oh yeah, it's goofy as fuck, but I like it.
Like, we talked about this before, but there's only one season. I was like, oh, the art looks good, and then everything like, I think there's like Italian JoJo, and that shit looks fucking weird as fuck. And then
oh yeah, Italian JoJo. You mean Giojo? Yeah, Giojo. Yeah. It's Italian JoJo.
Oh,
it was hilarious.
Mm-hmm. You first.
No, because like Italian JoJo, a lot of the main villains are like named after like just food. There's a dude like there's a villain called Prosciutto. There's another villain called Pesci.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't watch this. I'm so glad I didn't watch. I would have been.
So here's the thing: is that like I have another friend of mine that like got into JoJo, but like stopped. I think I want to say at part 3. And
yeah, that was me.
No, I'm not talking about you, Wesley, because you like to give up. But I kind of
fucking guy is so fucking mean.
Sorry, that was very mean. I apologize.
You see, yeah. Thank you.
But he still gives up. Anyways, no, because I kind of talked him into it, but like, you know, part 3, like JoJo changes from there on end. Like what part 3 is, that essentially establishes what JoJo becomes like later on in the series. And he's like, yeah, but it seems like, you know, it's becoming a little boring because all the guys, well, the main powers seem to just be punching. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's kind of the problem, because obviously the fact that like it was the beginning. But later on in the series, like I want to say like towards the midway point of part 3 was where they start introducing powers and like different things that people's abilities can do, and like that's where the show starts to get really interesting, and like a lot of the other characters start to become very interesting with their powers, because like some can go like in weird fucking directions of just like absurdity, essentially. Because obviously it is a very, very bizarre adventures. Because I think the most bizarre that I can think about is like oh god. Well, actually, no. There's too many, but one example that I gave him.
With the ship.
Oh, the orangutan strength
With the ship, yeah.
Yeah, monkey boat.
Yeah.
I hate it here.
No, but it's
Stand.
it's stupid, but I'm like I said, I'm a person that enjoys like stupid shit, so that's why I really enjoy JoJo.
Noted.
That's why I have bad taste. Uh, but you know, I as the series progresses further on, like part 4, has a character that his ability is that he's able to essentially fold things into paper. Like, there's a scene where a character's opening up a piece of paper and a gun just comes out. Like, it is the stupid. It is so stupid and wacky, and I love it.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z is bad. Yeah, right.
Oh no, I love Dragon Ball, but I think it's
I know, but like I have to hear all these people go, "Oh, you only watch Dragon Ball Z."
I'm not gonna.
Because why would I watch this garbage? To be fair, the gun part would be very funny to watch, but
it is hilarious. No, there's so many memes about this stupid bullshit that happens in JoJo. But that's also the other thing is that JoJo kind of embraces its absurdity, but also having a lot of the fights be like huge threat levels of fights. Like when you get to like the main antagonist per series, a lot of them seem really overpowered. For example, for part 3, I guess spoilers in a sense. But I feel like also the writing is also clunky in JoJo. Before I get into that, is that like part 3, your main villain's ability is to stop time, and the more he tries to stop time, the more his time stopping ability progresses. Where
part 3 had Dio in it, right?
Dio, yes,
Yeah.
but
I watched that one. I remember that.
Yeah,
see, that wasn't as bad.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is that the writing also gets really clunky because the Deus Ex Machina that happens is that your main character, Jojo,
Juicy Machinos,
is that he's able to have the ability. His stand is almost the same as Dio, where he's able to stop time as well, which is just like
the Deuce Macarena.
Macarena. Yeah, they did the Deuce Macarena. But
oh my God.
But then you get into interesting territory where like part 4. Welcome to my TED Talk. You get into interesting territory of part 4. Where your main character has the ability to reconstruct things that are broken, or heal people if they're hurt, but cannot heal himself. So there are moments throughout the show.
Oh God, it's like
it's very
like mental state.
it's very Shonen Jump. It's very, very Shonen Jump because it's like, all right, the main character has to have an ability, but he can't be too overpowered with it. Which I feel the Italian JoJo Part 5 kind of like ruins it because your main character is essentially Jesus. Your main JoJo is Jesus because
it is the Italians, so we would know the Jesus.
Yeah, but it's true. They're all God. Now that you say that, there's a lot of like religious motifs and shit like that.
Does the Mafia show up? Please say the Mafia shows up.
Oh, your group of JoJo characters? Like
no, like the Mafia, like mafioso, right?
Let me explain.
Oh, okay.
Your group that you're following is the Mafia.
I actually might go watch. What season is this one?
That's part 5.
Part 5. Is that already on Netflix?
Yes. All the parts are on Netflix. So this is the thing, is that like, yes, you can start at any part. There are some references to the part previously.
I'm not going back and watching it all. You can't make
I know. I'm not going to force you. That's why a lot of people would say start at part 3 because part 3 obviously establishes the power of the stands. But part 1 and 2 are good in their own right because obviously they were earlier works. They're very fun in their own way because they're very goofy. A lot of your main characters, specifically the JoJos, specifically part 2, your main JoJo, Joseph, has to like kind of like Looney Tunes / con his way with certain villains that he fights. So there's a lot of like thought into like how your main character is going to fight the villain. and that's where, you know, from then on, a lot of those parts, you know, your main character isn't essentially just punching the villain. He has to think about, all right, what can I do to get out of this situation that I'm currently in? Like, oh, I can fucking, I don't know, seal this fucking vacuum of air space and, you know, try to get him out, or like try to like it goes to like weird goofy science shit sometimes.
Yeah, I'm just gonna watch Pinocchio. Never mind, it's fine.
Okay, so watch part 5. But yeah, essentially you're following the mob in part 5, and they're
one of those mob members happens to be Jesus.
Essentially, yeah. So their quest is to find their Don. The reason why they're trying to figure out their Don's identity is because he has been like so like secretive and nobody knows his face. So the Don realizes that these guys are trying to find his identity, so he sends out assassins to go take out the group that you're following.
I mean, it's pretty mafia of them to kill their own people, so whatever.
Hey man, yeah, it's some cool ass shit. And then
the Don would already, they'd know who he is.
Yeah,
no hiding. So.
Yeah. But not even that. It's just like a lot of the characters in part 5 are like you're not even the main character. Your side characters are very, very well written. One guy that you follow is his name is Bruno Bucciarati, and his standability is that he's able to make zippers that act as like to act as doorways in order for him to get out of certain situations.
I'm not watching this. I'm not doing it.
You said yes, and then you said no.
Because the zipper part just fucking no. I'm good, man. You should have just left it as like there was mafia people. I would have watched it.
No, because then you'd probably get to
Zipper Man.
You probably get into it, and then you'll be like, "Oh, this is zippers. I'm out. I don't even like zippers." And I'm like, "All right, bro.
I only use buttons, bro."
Exactly. He should have been Button Man. But
so
like,
stupid.
Like it's exactly it's the stupidest shit, but I love it because of how creative it can get, especially when it comes to powers and stuff like that. Right now, part 6 is very interesting because it's also going into like dumb power bullshit where one of the characters is just sentient plankton. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Fuck JoJo.
I love JoJo. But
the one thing I forgot to say was my brother picked up a movie called Vampire Hunter D. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Oh, I've seen the art, but I've never watched it.
Holy shit, it's such a good movie. I haven't rewatched it, but I'm about to rewatch it probably when they get down here. Dude, if you have any time, and even if it costs money, fucking rent that movie.
Vampire Hunter D.
It is worth the money. The story is great. The art is so fucking good.
When did that come out? Like
that was like 1998, I think, in America, maybe 2000. But like, I watched it when I was really young, and like just I've watched it multiple times through my life.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm just really excited to like
rewatch
be able to like have like my adult brain for watching it this time, you know.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it because I've heard good things. I've only seen the art because the art is done by Yoshitaka Amano, who did the art for like a lot of the Final Fantasy games, or specifically the original ones. You know how like those like very painterly looking Final Fantasy characters. That art.
Yep, I used to love those games too, and the art was again fantastic.
Yeah, so that's that artist that did the design for Vampire Hunter D. That's the only thing I know. As for like anime movies, I haven't really seen like anything too crazy. I think Redline might have been the one where I was just like, anime movies are pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
I think me and Wesley saw it together. We saw Redline together, right, Wesley?
Redline, is it the animated one?
Yes, it's the one where it's like it's a racing one.
Yeah,
that was really good. Oh fuck! Well, I should recommend this to Wesley, but like You gotta watch the Gurren Lagann movies.
Uh,
Oh,
Jesus.
bro.
Lagann.
I'm pretty sure you showed me the movies.
I hope I did, because like they do like more cool action scenes and shit like that in the movies. But I would recommend watching Gurren Lagann Howler
Yeah, one day.
one day. You'll watch it, just like JoJo.
No. I'm gonna go watch Pinocchio instead. So the news happened.
Oh yeah, the news. Oh, do you guys want to take a break? I know everyone at my JoJo TED Talk, but
I don't know. Do you need a break, Wesley?
Not really.
okay, all right. I guess we can get through the
Good.
news. All right. So, the news. Who wants to take it away? Wesley?
I don't have them up.
Something at the bottom.
Yeah, I don't have them up right now. Hold on.
Wow. You know what? I guess I'll start while Wesley tries to open those up.
Are we doing the Neon Prime thing?
Actually, no. We're gonna talk about the thing that happened yesterday, which was the voice actress for Bayonetta, Hellena Taylor, coming out and saying that she basically got lowballed when not even auditioning, when she got the part for Bayonetta 3. And that, so did you watch what I sent, Wesley? I'm
Nope.
assuming no. Okay. So to basically put this in perspective, because this was also part of my week of like shitty things happening, and this also brought up like an interesting conversation because me and Haller talked about this like off screen, is that yes, Hellena Taylor, the original voice for Bayonetta, was going to be in Bayonetta 3. The issue that happened, according to Platinum Games, is that she had scheduling conflicts, so she couldn't come back as Bayonetta. So they hired a new voice actress, which is Jennifer Hale. If you don't know who Jennifer Hale is, she is the voice of female Shepard in Mass Effect. She's the voice of Rivet in Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Jennifer Hale has been in a lot of games, and a lot of like dubbing specifically. Or I should say voiceover roles. So the thing is that Hellena Taylor came out and said that Platinum Games basically made her an offer to do the entire game of Bayonetta 3 at a price that she felt like was not a livable amount. And she went directly to Hideki Kamiya, who is the vice president of Platinum Games, and wrote him a letter saying that, you guys offer me this amount, and I feel like I'm worth a little bit more than that, obviously, for this being the third game in the franchise. And Hideki Kamiya responded to her saying that, yes, the fans love you, like, we'll pay you, what we think you deserve. And his offer was $4,000 US. In which she had to refuse, because that's insane. So that's when they gave the opportunity to Jennifer Hale. So this, essentially the timeline of events is that Bayonetta 3 was delayed for a good ass while. It wasn't until recently that they had a trailer. Well, not recently. It wasn't until like last year they actually had a trailer for gameplay and stuff like that. And the main thing that a lot of people were pointing out is that, oh, that's weird. The voice for Bayonetta is completely different. And there was no mention about anything about Hellena Taylor, and that's where Platinum had to come out and say, oh, scheduling conflict. In Helena's posts, she basically was saying that they lied, that there was no scheduling conflict. She had all the time in the world, but they just didn't want to pay her a good amount. They wanted to pay her that $4,000. So it only goes to show, what the fuck did they offer her previously? Like, it was probably way, way lower. And there's a lot of rumors and speculation that Bayonetta 3 is supposed to be like a multiverse Bayonetta game, where there's like different Bayonettas from different universes and stuff like that. So people were speculating, oh, she's gonna pop in and be a Bayonetta from a different universe. That's why this Bayonetta sounds so different. And lo and behold, the reality is no, she just got replaced. So over the course of like literally the whole day yesterday, there were people coming out, talking about like the whole thing that's going on. A lot of voice actors, a lot of actors, or people just work in video games. I mentioned to Haller that I was listening to the Sphere Hunter, also known as Susie, have her little like talk space in Twitter, and she was talking to a bunch of voice actors and a bunch of people that work in the gaming industry, and wondering about this whole situation, and trying to figure out as to like why Platinum would do that. Nobody knows really the whole situation. A lot of people are making a lot of speculations. A lot of people are having really, really shitty takes on saying that, like, does it really matter that she's not in there? And it's a very interesting like conversation to have. I, for one fact, am very conflicted because, I pre-ordered the game. I pre-ordered the Masquerade edition, which is like the collector's edition. And there's a part of me that kind of wants to not that kind of wants to cancel my order, but at the same time I'm like, is it really worth it at this point of just like canceling it and then the sale goes to somebody else that like does not give a shit? It's just like at this point I feel like canceling a pre-order is just symbolic, and I really feel like at this point it's not going to have any effect. But like I said, I'm still thinking about this whole thing of whether or not to cancel it, because like I said, it's a shame, because part of my week as well is that like I'm going through the first two Bayonetta games and like trying to get myself hyped up. And then literally yesterday was where, I was seeing this and I was like, damn, like that fucking sucks. So like I said, a bunch of people from the voice acting community came out and was basically saying that, yeah, there were a bunch of roles that they got in that they were paid really, really shit payments. Some examples were Sean Chiplock, who played the voice of Rivali in Breath of the Wild. He got paid $2,000 to $3,000 for voicing 3 characters, including Rivali, and that was it. And that was from Nintendo. Then you had another case of the one of the voice actresses in the Jujutsu Kaisen movie got paid like essentially $150 for one of the main characters, and that was it. And that was her dispute against Crunchyroll. And then the most realistic, well, not realistic, the one that a lot of people talk about in video games is David Hayter, who played the original Snake. And people were like, what happened to David? Because the whole, like, I remember when Metal Gear Solid 5 was coming out, and Kiefer Sutherland was supposed to be the new voice of Snake. So there was a lot of speculations as to like, oh, is something happened to David Hayter? And David Hayter had to come out to the public and basically say he was not contacted at all. Kojima didn't contact him. Konami didn't contact him. They just essentially let him go, and that was it, to put Kiefer in. So there's a lot of things that are very interesting to this conversation, but I think just sticking to Hellena is that yeah, essentially Platinum Games Platinum and Nintendo, I can't really say for certain didn't give a shit, but it's just like there's a part of me that thinks that there's obviously more to this story, because Platinum and Nintendo have not come out with a statement. The thing that really looked shitty was Hideki Kamiya has his Twitter. He has this whole little quirky joke thing that he does where he starts to block people just for fun. But when the news broke out about Hellena going out and talking about this, people were replying to Hideki Kamiya being like, yo, you're gonna talk about this? Like, what the fuck happened? She wrote to you specifically, and you offered her that much? And he didn't respond to anybody. He wrote down a Twitter, like, he wrote something on Twitter saying that, like, essentially what Hellena was saying was a lie, and that he would start blocking people asking about that whole situation. And that's what he proceeded to do. He started to block people, and that looked really, really bad at a PR standpoint. But like I said, I don't know whether or not they're going to come out with a statement. The thing that sucks for Hellena is that essentially she broke NDA. She broke her non-disclosure agreement. So there is a possible chance that Platinum or Nintendo can file a legal action to, I guess, take anything away from her. But there's so many like things going on with like the amount of videos that she posted that she's broke. Essentially, she's like, if Nintendo wants like my clothes, they can have it. Like, she's like, I have nothing in my name, and it's like a when you watch it, it's like this feeling of like bitterness. Obviously, a lot of people were pointing out that like she was very hostile about the fact that Jennifer Hale was the new voice of Bayonetta. She was talking about how like Jennifer Hale cannot call herself the voice of Bayonetta, that she is the voice of Bayonetta, and a lot of people were kind of reading into that, saying that like, oh, that sounds really selfish and really, really rude and bitter. But you know, you kind of have to understand it from her standpoint as well, is that like she was the voice of this character for so long, and she put her heart and soul into it, and at the end result, the company that used her didn't value her, so she realized that she was replaceable. And yeah, like I said, she broke NDA. I don't know whether or not she's gonna go to court for that. But yeah, just a lot of layers to this, and like I said, it is a very interesting conversation of like people talking about boycotting the game, because that's was part of her message as well, that she was asking fans to boycott the game and essentially take the money and give it to charity. Which is like, yes, that is a very noble thing to do, to give your money to charity. But a lot of people were pointing out is that like, you know, what is more important, a voice actor or the development team that worked hard in this game, and only for it to get cut and lose sales because one person is upset she didn't get the job. And on top of that, she refused to take the role. But like I said, taking it from the other side, she had to refuse because it's a really shitty payment to get for a legacy character. And it, like, it's this whole conversation. It's like you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't, because this kind of leads in back to the whole thing about the Sphere Hunter having her conversation with people. And there was also the actor that played one of the androids in Detroit Become Human, Connor. His name is Brian Deckert, and he talks about how he was supposed to be the main character of a AAA game, but he was lowballed on the amount that he was going to be paid, so he refused. And then the role ended up going to somebody else who was, I'm pretty sure, given the same amount as he was offered. And he's like, it really hurts actors when other actors go in for roles at a lower price. But it's like, he can't necessarily blame them, because they're also starving actors. So they need to have the portfolio, they need to have the experience, they need to have something to their name. So it's like I said, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't.
It really just needs to be put in perspective of like 4K for
a whole game.
Yeah, which is hours of work.
Exactly. So
it's not just one day, it's not just 2 days, it's probably months of work.
Exactly.
Which is like, you know, some people might think like, well, you know, this is the job you chose, or like, it's really not that hard. But
Yeah.
like the truth is like when you go to work for 8 hours a day and you do all your work, do you not deserve the money you get?
Yeah.
And it's like, months of your time goes to waste. You don't just get paid 4K. You get paid whatever the fuck you get, right?
Exactly. So that's also the interesting thing, is that like Hellena also points out that like she had to re-audition for her role. Like it, but obviously she passed it because she's the original voice. So the reason why they had her re-audition is because over time your voice starts to change, especially when you start to get older. So that's why the reason she had to go for it. But this kind of led into the whole conversation of like whether or not Hellena is a union actor, which I believe she is not. So according to union rules for actors, is that you're supposed to be given a specific amount for the amount of hours that you put in. And there is a listing. Young Yeah actually came out with a whole thing of talking about this, is that when you're a union actor, you have a list of like the amount of hours you work and the amount of pay you're supposed to get. That is for union actors. The problem where this story starts to like get all twisty and funky is that Jennifer Hale is a union actor. So the real question is, how much did they pay Jennifer Hale? Because it's like, if you're willing to pay $4,000 for the original voice of Bayonetta and she's not union, you kick her out, but you decide to hire a union actor. How much did you pay for that? So like you were willing to pay a good amount for a union actor, which doesn't make any sense. You understand what I'm saying? Yes?
Yeah, it's like why? Yeah.
Why make the first offer and then go with, okay, I guess not, and then hire somebody else that probably costs more? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, it just kind of devolved into this whole argument of like people boycotting the game or going to the defense of Platinum and trying to give the explanation that like, oh, we're essentially affecting the cost of Platinum, and their sales are going to go down and the company is going to go bankrupt. Essentially, that was the whole spiel online. Yeah, it's just a very, very weird case. Like I said, they're gonna have to wait for Platinum or Nintendo's explanation as to like what the happenings were, but them lying about Hellena having schedule conflicts is not looking good on their case. But it's weird. Like I said, I'm very conflicted. I love the original voice of Bayonetta. I really, really like those games. But at the same time, it's like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Because what I've been seeing is that like the amount of people canceling their pre-orders, more people are buying up their canceled pre-orders. So it's just like this whole thing that's happening where it's like there's always somebody at the line waiting for the thing to be given to them. It's very bizarre. Right. So
yeah, I mean, it's all about like where your beliefs lie and how you feel about it. Because the developers will get paid.
Yes, I'm assuming they got paid for the amount they were, they put the work into, obviously, because they have hourly wages.
I'm saying if the game gets, not, if the game doesn't do well, the studio just doesn't do well. The developers still get paid, at least they should. Mm-hmm. And then the studio might just be like, well, not making a 4. So it's really like more so like, do you want a 4? You already know my point of view on like people changing voice actors. It fucking kills the game for me half the time.
Yeah. That's another example. Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, is that something these people are willing to do? Like, is it a voice that you can stand? Because if it is, then it's still worth playing. I mean, I don't know. Personally, if I put myself in like her situation, of course I feel for her. Yeah. But again, like it's all about like because like I didn't think about it until you said it, but like, yeah, like, are you willing to give up on a 4 being made? That's it. Like that's the question, really.
Yeah, that's the real thing to really think about it as a consumer. And on top of that, it's like we don't know the full story yet because Platinum and Nintendo could come out and say that she's a liar, this and that, and try to look good at a PR standpoint. But like I said, they haven't said anything at all. So that's why I'm still hesitant on actually just canceling entirely. I love Bayonetta. I'm more interested in the gameplay, and I also love the voice of Bayonetta. I love the portrayal that Hellena did for the first 2 Bayonetta games, because that's what kind of makes that character. Is she's very theatrical. She's she's going off for that very confident feel, and to have Jennifer Hale doing a British accent is a little weird, but it's like it's not terrible. But like I said, it this whole thing kind of brings that whole situation into a different light, where it's like, oh, there's some bitterness happening going on, and it's just like it's like it just doesn't feel good. Yeah, like I said, when listening to that whole Twitter space from Susie the Sphere Hunter, and hearing,
oh yeah, I did pop in for that for a few seconds.
Okay.
I only noticed it was on because of you, and I thought you were talking. So I was like, oh, I want to see what Jones is going to say.
Oh,
and then I saw you were listening, and I was like, oh, and there was a lot of people in there.
Yeah, she was saying that, so there were a lot of requests that people wanted to talk with her. I'm assuming probably some of the listeners, but I'm like, I didn't request for shit, bro. Like, I'm just an idiot. Just like, I feel sad because I can't play sexy witch lady with good voice.
Yeah, don't worry, the hentai's still there, though.
Yeah, the hentai will always be there. But no, like I'm saying is that like she was having her conversation, and like a bunch of people that she was talking to was like, yes, you can boycott the game. Yes, you can probably give it to charity. There were some people that are like, no, I'm going to keep my pre-order, but I'm still ashamed of this. I'm still disgusted by this. I will keep talking about this because that sucks. But I think at the same time, it's just like, it's more of a symbolic gesture to do that. And a lot of people were, like I said, they were talking about like whether or not the development, or like if Platinum will financially recover. And I think that's not necessarily the case, because like I said, there are people just waiting for other people to cancel their pre-orders in order to take it, so they are still going to get that money regardless. And their staff got paid because they get paid hourly wages. Right. So there's that, where it's like, it's not essentially they're not going to get paid. It's just up in the air at this point, where it's like, will Bayonetta ever come back?
Right.
So yeah, she the last person she had a conversation with on her little Twitter talk was the original voice actor for Brad Vickers from Resident Evil 1. And there was something that he pointed out that was very interesting. He was mentioning that a lot of Japanese companies, a lot of Japanese studios, gaming studios, were trying to lean away from a lot of union actors because they don't want to deal with whole union rules, and they don't want to give that amount of money. And he was talking specifically about Capcom. And I thought about this, and I'm like, that's interesting, because voice acting is something that a lot of people try to strive for and a lot of people want to do. So there's always going to be another voice actor. Obviously, you can be replaceable, which is unfortunate, but it is the truth. And a lot of studios are trying to lean away from that. So it's going to get to a point where you're going to see a lot of recognizable voice actors not show up for their role again that they've been doing for years. David Hayter was a perfect example of that, but he's union. So the real, that made me think about that specific situation. I was just like, was the reason why David Hayter didn't come back was because he was union and Konami didn't want to deal with union. So it just kind of opens up your mind to make these theories about like, this Japanese studio that I like didn't get the voice actor that I am so used to. Fuck is happening with that? But this kind of leans into the whole thing of, people should be paid for the job that they put amount of time and effort into. People were trying to make the argument of like, oh, if she can make more money than a developer, then you know, we should just leave gaming to just voice actors. And it's like, no, that's not that's not the example that people are trying to talk about. It's like, I think the overall thing we can agree with is that people should get paid a livable amount. That's what everybody's trying to get across. But people are trying to make it about them.
The whole thing pisses me off because, like, you pay an actor for talent and they get paid these millions of dollars, and then you have a voice actor who should. I'm not saying they should be paid millions of dollars, because I don't think a basketball player should be paid millions of dollars. I don't think an actor should be paid millions of dollars. But these people should be essentially paid what fucking actors and these, you know, sports players are being paid. Like, they're literally doing the same job that the other. It's you know, you're telling me Robin Williams didn't get paid a fuck ton of money to play, you know, Genie in Disney, in Aladdin, or the same thing for. I mean, I guess that's Disney's a big ass name, so it's kind of not fair. But again, like, these studios, like, $4,000, bro. Like, it's just so much bullshit. For, it'd be the same thing. Like, I would be expressing the same level of, like, annoyance for if somebody came up to you and, let's say you're a developer, and they were like, I'll give you $4,000 to develop this app, and it's going to take you fucking, call it 12 months. Not even 12 months. Call it 6 months. Fuck no, you shouldn't be paid. You should be paid way more than fucking $4,000, dude. You know? I mean, of course, like, it all depends on, like, if you're, like, let's say you could finish it early, like, actually a month or something. Then, you know, whatever your time is valued as.
Yeah.
But
it's like the same thing for artists. I think that's a perfect example, because I follow so many artists on Twitter, and the main thing that they always say is value your art and ensure that you get your value out there, because there are obviously a lot of artists that, like, have commissions that they do that they charge like $200, okay? And then you have somebody on Twitter coming in and be like, oh, you charge too high. Can you go a little bit lower? And it's like, no, this is what I value my art as. So I'm going to have it as that. But then you have them being like, oh, well, I found this other artist that draws almost as similar as you, but does it for cheap. So I'll go to them. And it's like, all right, go to them. But that's also coming into the whole thing of, like, people charging less kind of hurts that industry, because it's like, that's why we get those people that don't view the art as, you know, something that they value. And, you know, that's why you get into situations where a lot of people are like, why the fuck do I have to pay this artist $100 when I can find it cheaper somewhere else? And that's what I felt like a lot of that conversation was. Like, a lot of people with that view was in those conversations about Hellena specifically, where it's like, you know, why do we even need her? We don't even need her, essentially. You know, it's her own fault. She should have done something different. And it's just like, damn, dude, like, it's really it's a really shitty situation. I think I could say overall. But it, like I said, that whole, it's a shame, because, like, Susie didn't record the conversation she was having with a bunch of different people, different voice actors and stuff like that. So it kind of sucks, because there was a lot of things that kind of, like, open your eyes to, like, the whole process of being a voice actor, which, it's like, yeah, it's like, essentially your dream job is not necessarily your dream job. It's a job, you know. It's still something that requires you to make the effort to go out and put yourself out there. But at the same time, you have to know your worth, because if you don't know your worth, you end up in that kind of situation where the company that you worked hard for so many years thinks you're replaceable, and that's it. So I don't know, man. Like, it stings. It's a very, very, like, shitty thing to think about. And a lot of people are saying, oh, why don't you just delay the game, and then give Hellena a good amount, and then, you know, wait until the game comes out. But I think Bayonetta 3 has gone gold at this point, so it's just like, and the other thing is that, like, it's 2 weeks away from release, so it's like, I don't think Platinum or Nintendo is going to risk that. Specifically Nintendo is not going to risk that, being like, "Oh, the fans are mad." Nintendo does not give a fuck about fans. Like, they could give two shits less about what any of their consumers think about. Because look at the whole shit with, like, fucking the eShop on 3DS and, like, the Wii. Is that, like, you know, you have people that still use that stuff, but Nintendo does not give a fuck about that. They're like, we're focusing on the new thing right now that can make us the money. So we don't need these old things. Yeah, I don't know. There was also another thing that I completely forgot about, and I was talking about No More Heroes 3. People were pointing out that No More Heroes 3 had a different voice actor for Travis, the main character. And Robin Atkins Down, the original voice actor for Travis, didn't know anything about this because when the trailer came out for No More Heroes 3, he wasn't aware about any of this. So when fans actually started to point this shit out, No More Heroes 3 got delayed a little bit in order to have Robin back and do the voices, do the lines for Travis. So you had a situation like that where, you know, there was such big fan outcry that the voice actor was able to come back into the role. But I think I think in this case, I don't think there is a chance that Hellena is ever going to come back, especially at the fact that she broke NDA. And the game being so close to release, there's no chance of this happening, which I know a lot of people want to put hope into, you know, this whole thing that there is a silver lining at the end of all this, but it's not going to happen. And like I said, it is a very, very shitty situation for Hellena. So yeah, that's what happened yesterday. So I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts?
I literally gave you every single one of my thoughts.
Wavin?
I said I literally gave you every single one of my thoughts already on it. Like we
Oh,
were
okay.
talking about it.
Wesley, you've been quiet.
I mean, like, one thing I'm like kind of wondering is why have a base rate instead of just doing like profit based on like units sold?
So that was the thing, is that I think in the first video that she put up, she was Hellena made a statement saying that I think the first Bayonetta game made like more than 400,000, like it sold more than 400,000 units. And somebody did the math. Essentially, the amount that Hellena was being paid for that $4,000 is a total of 77 copies sold of Bayonetta 3, specifically. So it's just like, that doesn't make any sense. And especially at the fact that like this is a long-awaited game from a lot of people want to play, that like it's going to outsell more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Like I said, there's also speculations at the fact that like maybe somebody at Platinum didn't like Hellena and was having it out for her. Maybe specifically Hideki Kamiya, but overall, we still gotta wait for a statement from Platinum and from Nintendo or somebody over there to talk about this whole situation. Because even then, Hellena came back to play Bayonetta in Smash.
Yeah.
She did the voices in Smash. So it's just like, that doesn't make any sense either. Of like, is there some kind of grudge against her? Like, who knows? Who knows? But yeah, having a base pay is still kind of shitty. But like I said, I think it's because of the fact that she's not union is the reason why they gave her a base pay. But regardless, you know, she was given a first offer, which she was like, that doesn't make sense. So then the second offer was just an insult because it was not even that high up from her first offer. So yeah, it's unfortunate. It's really, really, really unfortunate. So yeah, Bayonetta 3 coming out the 28th. You know, a lot of people were saying that, like, you know, canceling their pre-orders for Bayonetta 3. But yeah, like the other thing that's coming out that day is the DLC for Resident Evil Village. So there's that. And I mean, yeah, some people that are probably going to boycott the game are probably just going to look at Resident Evil's DLC. Yeah, like I said, I'm conflicted. You know, I still have my pre-order up. And you know, I don't know. I really like. Honestly, I feel like this is a situation that's way too complex to take a specific side on with.
I really think it just comes down to like whether or not you want the next game.
That's
And then the other, that's the only other part. Like I said before, was if you really have strong moral value about what she should be paid, then you're gonna boycott it. Period.
Yeah, you're gonna have a stance on it. Yeah, but like I said, it is a very complex situation. I feel like for me is very complex because of the fact that like I don't know the whole story. I would like to hear both sides.
Right.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe later on this week, we might hear something. So moving on from the sadness, are you guys prepared for more sadness? I guess because there's a lot more sadness. Wesley, what do you think about Gotham Knights, bro?
No opinion, to be honest. It's another Batman-ish game.
All right, Howler, what are your opinions on Gotham Knights?
Yeah, man, that 30 FPS looks terrible.
Yep, and with no options for performance and quality mode.
I don't understand it because it's being made for PS5, right?
Being made for PS5 for newer generation consoles and PC. And I believe even the PC is
The only thing I could say to even try to defend them would be maybe it was being developed way before, but even then, like, you would do an update or something, right?
I think so. Oh, so it's just for consoles that's this going to happen for 30 FPS.
I don't know, man. Just doesn't sound right.
It doesn't make any sense either, especially at the fact that like this game is supposed to come out when? Like later this month as well? It's supposed to come out the 21st. So a couple days. Yeah, it's weird because from their Discord they made an announcement saying that the explanation is weird because let me read this. So essentially they said, I know many of you are wondering about the availability of performance mode for Gotham Knights on consoles. Due to the types of features we have in our game, like providing a fully untethered co-op experience in our highly detailed open world, it is not as straightforward as lowering the resolution and getting a higher FPS. For this reason, our game does not have a performance/quality toggle option and will run at 30 FPS on consoles. And everybody was like, what the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean? So they're essentially saying because of the fact this game is going to have a co-op option, it has to run at 30, which is like, why? And then, going on Twitter, you see the really shitty like comments of like people of like PC players being like, well, the one that I saw that really irked me was somebody was like, well, console players, you were playing like 30 FPS back in the day. Why are you complaining now? And then somebody made the obvious statement being like, because now we have newer hardware and we're able to do that. We're able to go at 60 FPS. So it doesn't make any sense to have it at 30. Like it's like the same thing. Like essentially somebody was making the comparison of like, you PC players buy new hardware in order to get higher frame rates. It's like essentially buying a newer console to get that high frame rate as well. So it's like it's that similarity between that. But yeah, overall, people are pissed and some people are not gonna get the game. Yeah, I mean, I had no interest in Gotham Knights because of the fact that like it's not related to anything of the Arkham series. And on top of the combat, I didn't really like the flow of it. But I don't know, man. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, as far as it goes for that game itself, I think the same thing. Like, if it isn't 60 for a PS5 or the new Xbox, like, why? Like, why the fuck wouldn't it have
quality options or performance options?
yeah, even some options, right? Like,
yeah,
something, man. Like, just sounds dumb.
Because I'm pretty sure like anything that runs on this generation of like consoles runs at 60. Like I'm pretty sure.
Either that or has like a performance option where you could choose what you want it to be at.
Yeah, you can just choose what you want. You want 30 FPS for quality mode? Sure. If you want,
Or you want fucking frame rate shit.
yeah, then go with performance. But it's weird that like a new generation console or a new game for new gen doesn't have those options, and it's done deliberately too. So yeah, don't know if this is going to affect anything for Gotham Knights, if sales are going to go down, but who knows?
I mean, regardless of the FPS, I wasn't buying it.
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
We're talking at
I
a
don't think-
perspective of
I don't
all
think it
three.
looked good.
Yeah, all three of us are not like interested in it, but I think this is an interesting talking standpoint of like, you know, new game.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, there's a certain level of quality you expect a game to be, right?
Yeah. Especially
So.
especially for the thing that you bought that's supposed to be like the next groundbreaking experience for console players.
Yeah, you would assume Destiny is the best game out there.
Yeah, you would assume Destiny has 150,000 frames per second now on the PS6, 5.
Yep.
So yeah, moving away from Gotham Knights, CD Projekt Red has announced a bunch of projects. So this is some interesting shit, baby. I guess if you like CD Projekt Red. So some of the stuff they have announced is a new IP codenamed Hadar, which don't know what that might be. Project Sirius, which is a Witcher project. Project Polaris, which is a Witcher 3 sequel, basically a new trilogy starting up. And then Project Canis Majoris, or Canis Majoris, it's Canis, right? Canis Majoris. A new story-driven Witcher open world RPG, and then Project Orion, a Cyberpunk 2077 sequel.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of Witcher shit.
I mean, Witcher is their best-selling series.
No, yeah, I get that, but like, what is it, like 3?
Yes.
Like additional things? That's, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for a new Witcher thing. I love Witcher 3. I liked Witcher 2. I really liked Witcher 1. Witcher 3 is like one of the best story like games I played in a while, especially for like high fantasy and stuff like that. And I love the world of Cyberpunk. I just didn't like the bugs that I was hitting, obviously, but I would like to see them.
To be fair, some of the bugs were fucking hilarious.
Yes, no. Those were hilarious when you're not experiencing them. When you experience them, it's a different case because obviously, like you said, there was some stuff that you hated from the bugs that you were experiencing.
Of course. So like some of the bugs were dumb, but there were definitely bugs in there, like when your car would just explode on you, and you're just like, you kind of just got to go, because like,
yeah,
the fuck is happening, man? Like,
Yeah.
And then there were ones where like you couldn't like. There was a boxing one that was really weird, and like I couldn't win some boxing fights because of this like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got like 1,000 HP taken away like from a punch, and I was like, I don't think this sounds, but maybe.
Yeah. So, in my case, it was a progression bug, so there was that. That's why I'm a little miffed about that because it didn't allow me to progress in the story unless I did a stupid workaround. But that was just me. So with these announcements, a lot of people are hoping for CD Projekt Red just to take their time. That's all anybody's asking for, is just to take their time. And yeah, I mean, with Cyberpunk, kind of shitting the bed, I would assume they learned their lesson. And this is also another thing, is that like with the amount of refunds and because of Cyberpunk being like so, what's the word I'm looking for? Like so disliked when it came out, CD Projekt Red still exists, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they didn't get shut down. They're going to have more work. So this kind of brings back to the whole thing about Bayonetta 3 is that like one series is not going to kill it. But to be fair, CD Projekt Red also owns GOG. So they're making money from another thing, unlike Platinum, which Platinum is solely focusing on games. But we'll get into Platinum in like the next couple stories that I have on here. But yeah, I'm part of that group where I'm hoping that they just take their time with the game. You know, like I said, I was a big critic of when Cyberpunk came out and was like, this game is broken as fuck. I don't want to support this game. And then lo and behold, you know, like 2 years after the fact, when did this game come out? 2020, right? Like start of the pandemic.
Something like that. Let's find out.
Yes, 2020.
2020, yeah, December, almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, and it's just like, you know, the game got delayed so many times. And in the end result, it didn't save the game, but still, like I'm saying, is that like 2 years later, I got to play the game, and I really, really liked my experience with it. I really enjoyed the world. I really liked the lore. I really liked the whole setting. Fuck, even the anime is fucking great because of the amount of source material it has. So it's like it is a really good IP to have.
I still need to watch that.
It is very fucking good. But yeah, just take your time, CD Projekt. Just take your fucking time. Because also people pointed out is that like when Witcher 3 came out, Witcher 3 was a buggy ass game as well.
Yeah, it's true. I heard about that. I didn't play Witcher when it came out, so I don't know, but
yeah, I didn't play when it came out either. I waited until like a good while, and then I played a little bit because I borrowed a copy from Wesley, but then I gave it back because I didn't start it up. And then I got the complete edition of Witcher 3, and then I played through the entirety of that, and I'm like, this is a good fucking game. But like I said, that was like after the fact, you know, where it's different updates, multiple patches, 2 expansions, and it's like it's just the game at its end. So it's a completely different experience for those that played the game when it was released. You know, same thing with Cyberpunk. So and they're also planning on doing multiplayer projects because I believe Cyberpunk was planned to have like a multiplayer thing to happen, and on top of that, they are doing the Cyberpunk expansion, so there's that. So I'm kind of excited to go back to the world of Cyberpunk. You know, I'm still kind of playing a little bit of Cyberpunk just to do like all the side quests and stuff like that. Even though I platinumed that game, but I just want to do some of the side quests because, like I said, the world is very interesting. But according to their CD Projekt Red's strategy update presentation, they want to do more franchises, more content for multiplayer and single player experiences, and some mobile TV and film stuff with external partners because I think of the fact that Edge Runners was such a smash hit, and the Witcher series is also another smash hit on Netflix. So they want to, you know, extend their horizon with their IPs. So I guess good luck to them. Just don't fuck up, I think is what I could say in its entirety. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? What are you guys thinking?
They got this.
All right, they got this.
Believe it.
That's it by yo.
I mean, I don't know, man. I think the list of games they've shown, I have like high hopes for it because it is CD Projekt, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, definitely what they did with what's it called, left like a sour taste, right?
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, it's one of those things like I'm nervous they're gonna fuck it up, but
Mhm.
I'm heavily hoping they just do well.
Yeah.
I don't want them to do bad, but
So
if they do, then that's that's strike two. I'm probably just not gonna buy anything from
so
that
the,
company again if they do bad.
yeah, so the thing I realized is that like they're very good at writing when it comes to their games. The writing
Yes.
in their games is very, very good. It's just, like we stated, is that like the execution was done poor for Cyberpunk, and the execution was done poor for The Witcher 3 when it came out. So the writing is there. Like the story can be good. It's just when you actually play it, if it obviously, because it's a video game, it's going to matter. It's like how the game plays. So yeah, overall, I think just don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up. And make Edge Runners Part 2. Anyways, so guys, you ever feel like going to TwitchCon?
Oh my god, I think I know where this is going.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Uh,
I'm so excited for this story.
You're so excited, bro. How about are you excited for a back-breaking injury?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So we gonna break our backs over at TwitchCon. So what the fuck happened at TwitchCon? Oh god.
Shit happened at TwitchCon.
So I didn't really pay attention to this thing. Like, I don't know if I'm right about this, but from what I saw, like, the foam pit was half filled.
Yep.
And like these two female streamers, what's it called?
Adriana Chechik.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, her and another person were fighting with the big ol'
so I think
things.
yeah, the other one besides Adriana, I think got a little hurt, but Adriana took the biggest injury.
Yeah.
So it's not just her, like 3 other people I believe got hurt as well at this pit. So it was a pit that was sponsored by Intel. And there was a lot of talks about a lot of these people that were in this little thing that they had to sign a consent form. So who knows if suing can happen, but fuck that. I would sue, because according to the to what happened to Adriana Chechik is she essentially broke her spine.
Yeah, she. If I remember correctly, I think yesterday she went in for her second surgery.
Yeah. Yeah, so the update the first update she had is she broke her back in 2 places and had to get rods placed into it. I think I saw something earlier where she talked about how she's actually kind of trying to gain the ability back to pee, cuz like it affected her nerves.
Like she was saying that she almost passed out just trying to brush her teeth, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude, I would fucking sue. I would sue the shit out of Intel and TwitchCon and Twitch. Cause why the fuck would you do that? Like, why would you overlook something like that, especially in a convention center where the floor is fucking concrete?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that is so fucking bad. But yeah, like other Twitch streamers also like hurt themselves. There was one girl that that fucked up her ankle, fucked up her leg. Oh, dislocated her knee. Oh god damn. Oh my god, that I have knee pain sometimes, and just hearing like dislocating a knee just it hurts me. Yeah, what the fuck. So this is also hilarious because of the fact that like Twitch, I think like the week before, Twitch was talking about how they have to have a 50-50 percentage with creators.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of made a joke saying that like Twitch is trying every way possible to not get their creators paid, so they're doing Looney Tunes shit by hurting them. But it feels too real sometimes. Especially what happened to these people. But yeah, I would fucking sue. I don't give a fuck. I would fucking sue. And especially at the fact that like if Twitch is trying to ask for more money and you want to do another convention, put more safety measures into that, especially into fucking shit like that. That is ridiculous. So yeah, TwitchCon. All right. So, good luck to Adriana Chechik. Yeah, just seeing her tweets and her updates, it's like
Nah, yeah, man. I mean, actually watching the video, like, I have back pain, and like, I know falling sucks, man, and I know how it feels. Like, that shit is actually fucking the worst, man.
yeah, because like somebody pointed out that like when she hit the ground, she didn't just fall in; she bounced off the floor.
Yeah,
like it was that hard. But yeah, like I said, good luck to her. Fucking hell, man. And speaking of shitty things as well, God, this whole fucking week has been kind of shitty. Like the more I'm starting to look at the stuff that I posted up, it's just been shitty. So last week we talked about Disco Elysium. Disco Elysium, for those just to basically kind of like sum up what happened. A lot of the lead staff left. There was no explanation as to why they left. It was just weird. So now we got a statement from Martin Luiga, excuse me, who was the co-founder of Zaum, which is the association, basically the developers of Disco Elysium. So this is a very interesting thing, because Disco Elysium is technically an indie game. The only way they were able to get this game up and out and being sold was to have a somebody to finance it, which they got. The problem is that when the game eventually released and became a big success, a lot of the corporate people were looking at this game to be basically a cash cow. And if you don't know the writing of Disco Elysium, it is a very anti-capitalistic game. And especially coming from Mr. Luiga and from the people that wrote Disco Elysium, they were like, we don't want to be part of this. If you're going to treat our art as something that could be a commodity, in a sense that like you view it as only as financial gain rather than artistic expression, we don't want anything to do with it. So eventually they were pushed out by the corporate suits. But he doesn't necessarily go full into detail with that because I believe he also is under NDA as well. So he talks about how like the people that also left with him, are trying to start their own separate thing, and a sequel for the game, if it ever comes into existence, he's trying to remind people that it's not the same team. It is going to be people that have probably just started working at the company, because he says most of the staff that worked on Disco Elysium has left. So it's really unfortunate. Just like I said, reading this whole thing, this whole interview was really eye-opening, and like, it's very resonant with what we talked about of like, what makes a game,
Yeah.
We talked about the voice acting perspective of it, and now we're talking about the writing aspect of it, of like writers can come and go, but
anything that's talent motivated or like talent rewarded is definitely worth like a decent amount of money, because like you can look at a bunch of different things that have been written. There's some fucking terrible writing out there, bro. Like,
yeah.
And like, if you don't have the best people doing their best work on these projects, you're not getting repeat customers into your shit. I mean, except for Call of Duty, which,
Yeah, so it's funny because like they had to find somebody to finance their game, and that's why, even though the game is like very anti-capitalistic. By the way, like Disco Elysium is like one of the games I still have to play in my back catalog because I keep hearing how good the writing is. and I keep seeing clips of people playing it, and like the amount of like crazy decisions that can happen. Like there's essentially no combat in the game. It's essentially like choose your own adventure. It's like a, what is it called? Like a CRPG. Is it a CRPG? Is that what it's called? I think that's what it's called. It's like almost like It's like Dungeons and Dragons, but without the combat. So you have to rely on rolls that happen when you make certain decisions and stuff like that, on like how a particular situation can go. So that's why I find that game very interesting. But like I was mentioning, is that like we talked about like the whole thing of being paid your wage, but this is a perfect example of like an artistic vision that got taken for greed only. And these are people who are highly anti-greed. And it's just like it's a lot to do, especially to walk away from money like that, especially for a game that was a fucking like a hit. It's interesting that these people were like, we don't want that. We don't want that for our game. We don't want that for our company. But like I said, they got pushed out essentially. So yeah, like I said, like what Haller said is that like anything artistically is just like, it's tough. Like overall, it's just tough, because like there are people who view it for monetary reasons, obviously, and then there are people who view it for artistic reasons, and it's like either or. It depends on their values and their morals and like what they want to do with that. And yeah, sometimes shit just doesn't work out. But you know, I'm hoping these people find their way, find something that makes them happy. Yeah, crazy. So yeah, I have to say this this whole interview with Game Pressure, talking with Martin Luiga, is Luiga. I almost said Lugia, but it's like no, that's not.
Yeah.
It's very interesting because he talks about the whole creative process and talks about like also the financial aspects of when creating the game, and like the artistic standpoint he has on it, and just like how the game was made because of the rest of the people's worldviews on like their current surroundings, or like their surroundings when growing up, because this is a game made in Estonia, and they talk about how like a lot of the writers and people that worked at Zaum were people growing up during the fall of the Soviet era, and how their country essentially became filled with drunkards and stuff like that. So the game of Disco Elysium is supposed to be like that era of Estonia. So it's very interesting to have that perspective of these people. But yeah, like I said,
what else is interesting that perspective of?
Moving on.
Do you know?
Who am I?
What?
Oh, no.
We talking about the same thing here?
I don't know. What are we talking
Kojima?
about? Kojima. Yeah. Who am I, baby? Who am I?
Oh my god! I didn't see the name right on the fucking front of the poster.
So who am I?
Who are you?
I don't know. Apparently, I'm Elle Fanning.
Knock knock. Who's there? Okay, yeah.
Elle Fanning. Yeah. So Kojima. Speaking of Kojima, or speaking about artistic or an artisan, or an artesian, Hideo Kojima kept teasing out this this picture saying "Who am I?" and it was just basically a somebody's face, but you didn't see the face. And now he revealed that the face is Elle Fanning, very well-known actress. Kojima has gone into the step of trying to be a movie director, but his
I think he did good.
his stories are stupid as fuck, bro.
Wow.
This is coming from somebody that likes JoJo.
So
but
hold on a second. Hold on a second. So if the man's directing, doesn't mean he's writing, right?
Yes, there's a difference.
Right. So let him direct the movie. I don't give a fuck. I think the dude could direct well.
No, this is not a movie. This is a game. So
I
this
know,
is.
but you
This
said
is
he's moving like towards movies.
yeah. There was also another thing that he was planning on doing movies, but like
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's not going to be directing. I'm pretty sure he's going to be writing and directing.
Great.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe he'll do good.
I don't know.
He did do Silent Hill, didn't he, at some point or something?
He was planning on doing Silent Hills. Well, he was planning on directing Silent Hills. Guillermo del Toro was supposed to be the one writing, or part of the writing team.
That would have been so good.
Yep.
Cries.
I know
Sobs
it makes
into
me sad, but
hands.
that's also another funny thing that we're gonna be talking about as well. But yeah, but just concentrating on this. Who am I? Who the fuck knows what this is? Obviously, it is a game.
Yeah, it's his next iteration of what he's gonna do.
It's gonna be something. It's not obviously Death Stranding 2, but it is gonna be something from Kojima's vision. Who knows?
Who knows?
Maybe if you
she has baby inside of Tank.
yeah, and then oh my god, can you imagine? It's a connection to Death Stranding, but like a completely different setting, and like another world that experiences the Death Stranding
Meme of Charlie Day from Always Sunny in Philadelphia smoking
with the
cigarette
board,
and pointing at
Pepe Silva.
yeah.
Oh,
Pepe Sylvia.
Oh, Pepe
Wow, hold on a second. Do you watch that show?
Silva. I've seen clips.
Oh, fuck you. I was so excited to talk to somebody about that show now. No,
Uh,
nobody watches it. It's so good.
No, because it's so memed and like it's like
Pepe Sylvia. He's
Yeah,
showing up everywhere.
Pepe Sylvia, Rum Ham, Danny
From
DeVito.
him.
Danny DeVito climbing out of the couch naked, oiled up.
And then the Danny DeVito. So I started shoot or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Danny
Anyway,
DeVito.
so I started.
Anyways, Elle Fanning, not Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito's better.
Who knows? Maybe Kojima might get Danny DeVito for another game. Think about that. So yeah, maybe because I'm trying to think, what is the next like gaming announcement thing that might happen? I don't know because there's really nothing. Oh, the Game Awards. Hold on.
Wait, is this happening soon? Remember, the Super Bowl's in February, so I can't watch the Gaming Awards in February.
Yeah, Gaming Awards. December 5th was the first one. So yeah, around December time is supposed to be the next one.
Oh wait, I don't care about these. No, I'm not watching that. Fuck
no,
Geoff.
I'm Geoff. Get his name right. It's Jeff. All right.
No, it's not. Don't do that. It's not Jeff. Please say that.
Is
it really to Jeff? Because I'll fucking.
It's just Jeff. It's just Jeff. Don't worry. But yeah, the Game Awards. I don't care about the awards, obviously, but I'm more interested in the announcement and stuff like that. So who knows? Maybe this Who Am I might show up there because
is his name pronounced Jeff? That
Jeff.
Geoff shit?
No, it's Jeff. Jeff Keighley.
Wait, so GEOFF spells Jeff?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Can we not do this? Can I please get on with talking about Kojima?
Absolutely not. That's bullshit. This guy's name's not real. Pepe Sylvia. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So speaking about Jeff, so because Jeff Keighley and Hideo Kojima have such a big connection, there's a possible chance where I'm making my own theory here. This thing is going to show up, maybe a teaser trailer, because I don't think there's any development of whatever the fuck this is. But knowing Kojima, he's going to try to break the standards of video games. You know, maybe instead of delivering packages, you might be, I don't know, sweeping up floors. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a very, very standard job. Yeah. Who am I? So maybe Game Awards. And speaking about franchises, Wesley, what are your opinions on Tiny Tina's Wonderlands? Since you played it.
It was a good game.
All right, thanks for the input.
The replayability isn't there like compared to like Borderlands 2.
Mhm.
Feels like once you just play it, like you're kind of done, essentially. whatchamacallit, because like in that game you could like dual class. Like you pick one game, like one class to choose for like the first half of the game.
Mm.
Second half you get like to choose literally from like all the others that are there, and like you'll be able to like pretty much pick from any ultimate, which they have four, which is we are like two per class.
Mm.
So you pretty much just do whatever you want,
So
and then
so does the combat feel, well, I mean it's still obviously a shooter, but like does like the gameplay mechanics feel different than threes?
yeah,
Okay.
because like you're mainly so like, instead of nades, it's like spells.
Okay.
Um,
I was about to say, I see Tiny Tina's Wonderland's on sale right now for like 30
mhm.
bucks. Do you think that is a cop or wait?
Like just the base game's 30.
Yeah, I believe so. Oh no, never mind. It's fucking 40 bucks. Never mind. Not a cop.
Mm.
Not for me. Because I'm a cheap ass bastard. Anyways, continue.
But I'm called like it's pretty good. Like the DLCs aren't DLCs. They're just like extra encounters that you're paying for, pretty much.
Isn't there an expansion like planned? I think that's what I
Uh,
heard.
I don't know. I mean, like the like the packs that are like came out with it already. That it has like it's not like story based. It's just like, oh hey, you got a new map. You get like new bosses, and then that's pretty much it.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Um but I guess just to kind of get into the story, talking about Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Uh there might be something in it for the franchise, according to Randy Pitchford. Don't leave the USB anywhere, Randy. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so he talks about how this game essentially did pretty fucking well in sales. And that there might be something more for it later on. Nobody knows whether or not it might be DLC, like you said, or what I assumed, what's happening for it, or a sequel for it, which I'm hoping they don't do. Like, I hope they don't milk the fuck out of this. It's gonna be weird for a trilogy of a spin-off series of a series that like its writing got progressively worse over time. But I don't know how the writing is in Wonderlands. Like, what do you think? How do you think it is?
It's pretty good with Wanda Sykes and
Andy Sandman.
yeah, Andy Samman. Like it makes for an entertaining like dialogue between characters, Tanya Tina's Dungeon Master and the main villain of the game. But like they have like
Oh,
little
Will Arnett. Yeah, I forgot that
yeah.
he is the main villain. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Um like even when you're exploring like the I guess what you could call like the overworld,
Hmm.
like when you're walking around like the map and everything, um you have like some depending on like the certain situations, you could have other characters talk about the environment or like what's going on.
Hmm.
Um, but like, other than that, it's pretty good. Like the story was fun. Um, like you could kind of tell, like you could obviously tell like who the main boss was, but like um, you didn't know like what extent.
So, would you say that it's a story more of like it's about the journey rather than the destination?
Yeah,
Okay.
because
Okay.
like you start off like with the main villain showing up, and you're like, oh okay, cool, this is the main guy that you're gonna be fighting,
Hmm.
and then um, as you go further into the game, you start realizing like why they did what they did or why they turned kind of thing.
Hmm.
And you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of like that they give a little bit of explanation to like the villains whole deal. It's like the same thing with Handsome Jack as to like his whole ordeal.
Oh yeah,
As to,
with
like,
Hyperion.
yeah. But that became kind of the curse of that character, where like they really relied on him a lot in Borderlands 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the unfortunate thing. Okay, so yeah, I guess I'll wait till the game goes on like probably like maybe $20. Because yeah, Borderlands 3 really kind of soured my experience with Borderlands as a franchise. Like I like the gameplay, I like the gun stuff, but the dialogue was just, I wanted to mute everything.
Yeah, dialogue was bug cheeks in 3.
Oh my god, it was so fucking bad. And that's why I'm a little bit worried about new Tales from the Borderlands, because they said that they plan on having some of the writing staff from Tales from the Borderlands from the original one.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's just like, what I've seen of new Tales from the Borderlands is just like a lot of like the jokes and like the humor didn't really do it for me, which makes me a little nervous. And I think that game's supposed to come out this month as well, or next month. I don't remember. No, I think this month. But yeah, I'll probably wait for like a review, especially from review sites that I trust, to see how it is. But yeah, I mean, Tales from the Borderlands is still one of the best fucking Borderland writings I've seen in forever. So yeah, Tiny Tina. Get excited for potential things for it or not. I don't know. I don't know. If you really like Borderlands or Tiny Tina, then I guess get excited. And
Tiny Tina.
all right, you know who else? You know who else should be excited, Wesley?
Everyone.
Everyone that owns a PS5, because the PS5 has been jailbroken. Hey. So, over on Twitter, Lance McDonald, if you don't know who Lance McDonald who Lance McDonald is, he is the person that showed that Bloodborne can be run at 60 FPS. He was that guy. So I think it's believed that he's not exactly the person that figured out the jailbreaking, but he did show off like all the stuff that you can do in the jailbreaking. It's not perfect, but it is something that is possible to do. He also mentioned one of the big things about the jailbreaking is that he was able to get a copy of PT onto the PS5, but it's not playable. Because I think overall the PS5 could not run that game, even if you had it. Because the PT is a weird one, because when that game got canceled, they just took it off entirely. So even then, if you had PT on your hard drive and didn't delete it or didn't do an update for it, you can still play it. But PS5 overall cannot play the PT demo.
I still remember the day we tried out PTA at your house. Holy!
Can you imagine
jump scares that game had?
The atmosphere, everything about it was so fucking creepy, and we didn't get like the secret ending. No, and then we had to look up that
was even ending until like
way later.
After,
yeah, because it was still fucking new. And then when somebody actually found out about it, it was like, oh, it's for fucking Silent Hills.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, this is crazy. And then and then the sadness that happened from there on. But yeah, it's crazy. And like I'm saying, is that like it's still one of the things that people talk about specifically, where it's a game that could have exceeded expectations, and then it just never panned out. But yeah, Lance McDonald showing off the PS5 jailbreaking, which I say is it's pretty cool. I think jailbreaking a console is still one of the coolest things to do, because it's like the potential that you can do, especially when you're finding like developer debugging and stuff like that, or like just finding like certain firmwares and things that you can just finagle with on a console, which I find really cool. Like the one thing that I didn't realize was a developer debugging thing that still fucking like blows my mind that I try to use every time I play a PS2 game on PS3. Somebody pointed out that like there's a developer menu that you can do when you start up a PS2 game on PS3 that can allow you to run the game smoothly. Because PS2 games on PS3 for some reason have VSync, and the VSync fucks up the game a lot. And you can take that VSync off, and the game runs much smoother. You don't experience like any like problems with the game, because the one game that I played that was experiencing a shit ton of problems, well, not a shit ton, but like a weird issue, was Digital Devil Saga 1, where the voice lines were not in sync with the characters lip syncing. Like it was very weird. Or like sound effects would be delayed for some reason. And then when I took off the VSync, everything went smooth from there on out. It's very interesting, the stuff that you can find you know, around the initial user the user experience. Oh, PS5 jailbroken. Like I said, not perfect, but who knows? Maybe later on it might get even crazier. All right. So, who wants to talk about crazy shit? Howler?
What's that?
What do you want to talk about? That's crazy, bro.
Pokemon.
All right. Italian Pokemon. Oh, I still haven't played that.
No, I think we're thinking the same thing. Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with Brendan Fraser.
It wasn't that.
It wasn't that. It's okay. But yeah, Brendan Fraser is you take it. You take it from here.
Brendan Fraser was talking about possibly doing the what's it called? The next
Another Mummies movie.
Mummy movie. Yeah.
Mummy movie.
That'll be weird.
I would like it.
I would too. I mean, I know Brendan Fraser looks very different compared to how he was in like the early 2000s, but you know, I feel like give him a chance. That's all I can say.
I love the dude. I think he did a great job in the movies before. I think he could do it again.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially like his comeback now. Like this year is the comeback of Brendan Fraser. And yeah, it's also funny because like he talks about like why the Mummy movie bombed, the Tom Cruise one. But you know, that whole fucking shit of Universal trying to do the Dark Universe was a terrible idea. And fucking Alex Kurtzman is like one of the worst executive producers on anything he touches. He's also responsible for like the downfall of like the Star Trek TV series. Cause like I've been hearing like really, really dumb shit that's been happening to like Star Trek Picard and Star Trek Discovery, where like they're all stuff that like Alex Kurtzman is attached to, but that's besides the point. But yeah, I would like to see Mr. Brendan Fraser show up in a Mummy thing, because I like those movies. They're not like it's not like I love those movies, but I really enjoy them. Even like Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. Like I like that, and I know a lot of people that don't like that. But I really enjoyed it.
That was the one with his son, right? Like
yeah.
His older son?
Yeah, and the villain was Jet Li.
Yeah, I didn't really like that one.
Yeah. But I enjoyed it. Not great, but I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Neat. Oh god, I completely forgot about this because this is also fucking sad shit. Yeah, so we talked about this a couple episodes back about the author of Yu-Gi-Oh, Kazuki Takahashi, that was found dead on a beach shore. So there's more news to that apparently he was trying to save somebody that was out at sea, but he ended up dying. One of the witnesses there saw, or like was saying that he went out to go help this person, but obviously something happened along the way that he passed away. And yeah, what's it? a U.S. Army officer was out there as well. Was able to save the person out at sea, and was able to see that Takahashi did not survive. So, but I think the very beautiful thing that Mr. Robert Bourgeau, the army officer, said is that he is a hero. So, that like I said, it's still very, very sad. But
it did bring tear to eye.
Yeah, rest in peace, Kazuki Takahashi. Also rest in peace, Robbie Coltrane.
Rip Hagrid.
Yeah, Robbie Coltrane made me a wizard, Harry.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy because I told my coworker that really likes Harry Potter and like the whole universe and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh yeah, Hagrid died like today, like when I told her kind of thing, and she was like, no, you're lying.
Oh my God, Wesley, was that your whole mission to make that person sad?
No. Like
You're
my
like,
sister sent me
you're like,
the Instagram post about it.
You like Harry Potter? Hagrid's dead. He whispered. Uh-huh. You're saying
Yeah,
as you
called her for like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people be dying left and right, and well, I think Takahashi's case was just like fucking tragic as fuck. Cuz that was something that like nobody was expecting. But yeah, Robbie Coltrane, rest in peace. So, moving on from the sadness, I'm going to try to make sure there's no more sadness. Okay. So, we talked about Bayonetta. We talked about Platinum Games. There's two things that I put down on her Discord to talk about Platinum specifically. And this was way before the whole thing with Hellena Taylor. But to basically kind of like maybe this might have a little bit of a connection to, her not being paid as much. But I think even then, I think this happened a little bit afterwards. So basically, Platinum Games is trying to become more independent. So they are now with what is it? A former Nintendo. Shoot. Hold on. Former Nintendo general manager of licensing and sales planning and strategy of Europe, Mr. Takao Yamane. So basically, Yamane worked at Nintendo. He was known for obviously marketing, and Platinum feels as if this is their possible chance to become independent because they are not necessarily independent studio. They're known in like the gaming industry to be guns for hire. That's why we had the whole thing of Babylon's Fall not doing so well, and that's also one of the other connecting stories. Is basically the reason why Babylon's Fall did not, basically got shut down was because it was Square Enix's decision. It wasn't Platinum's. And on top of that, the amount that they're given from a publisher, is the amount they're going to have to use. They can ask for more money, but it just really depends on the publisher. So yeah, Square Enix is like the biggest one to kind of look at from that standpoint. But this kind of leads back to another thing of Platinum also wants to try to create an online service game. Because online service games usually rake in a good amount of money, but I don't know, like this whole thing of them talking about like putting more money into live service stuff, and then the whole thing coming out about Hellena Taylor being lowballed is another whole complicated situation. So yeah, basically, Platinum is looking to make more money. That's all it is. They're looking to make more money. There's an interview with Yamane, Kamiya, and the CEO of Platinum, Inaba, where they talk about all the stuff over time. They talk about Babylon's Fall, which is the other story that I just spoke about. What their plans are for the future. The whole thing about Bayonetta 3. They even talk about Scalebound. That they're so open to talks with Microsoft about Scalebound, because that was also another thing where they just, I think there was a whole weird conversation about it where I think Hideki Kamiya was talking about how him not necessarily not seeing eye to eye. It's just like at the end result, Microsoft didn't want anything to do with it. But it's been years, because I think Scalebound was supposed to be a launch game for the Xbox One. But like I said, it's been years at this point, so they're so open to that having that game come out. And yeah, that's basically it. So I think I'm more personally, I think I'm a little bit like saddened by this because of what happened to Hellena Taylor. Because I would have been a little bit more proud of like Platinum trying to make more money. But, like I said, with them being like, oh, let's make more money but not pay the people that kind of deserve to be paid for, is kind of like, it kind of makes me view this in like a different light. So, yeah. Platinum. You guys still there? Am I alone?
Nope.
Okay. You take another pee?
Nah, I made 2 cheesesteaks.
Why do you do this to me?
I'm not. I didn't make shit, bro. I'm fucking sitting here making fun of you, kid.
That's
I
lies.
was like, I had enough time during that whole Platinum talk to be able to go make a couple cheesesteaks. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're saying. Anyways, so yeah, Platinum trying to make more money. So they hired former Nintendo salesperson. Yeah, and then like I said, the other article is Babylon's Fall. Essentially, overall, Platinum feels bad for the game not, living up to expectations, but it's essentially just Square Enix were the ones that decided time to take this game off after a year. That's the crazy thing, is that like it's only been a year.
Yeah, but I mean, like, there's games like Mag, right?
Yeah.
So
Mag.
it happens. Is what it is.
Yeah, but Mag didn't go off in a year.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure. Because when did the Mag's online service go down? Servers shut down. Like 2014. And when did Mag come out?
Like 2007.
You are incorrect. 2010. So yeah, 4 years. It lasted 4 years. But like that's what I'm saying, is that like
Interesting.
even a game like that, it took a while for it to go down. So
Yeah.
You know what else is going down? Can you guys
Kesha?
say Kesha?
Yeah, I'm going down. I'm saying timber.
Oh god, why do you do this? Anyways,
You asked, do you know what's going down? I assumed it was Kesha. My bad,
I
brother.
did ask that, and
my question was answered.
All right. Besides Kesha, 2 never published NES games are up for auction on eBay. I don't know if this story has been updated because this was from the 12th, but this was pretty cool. So Frank Cifaldi, Frank, basically the founder and co-director of the Video Games History Foundation, was able to find 2 unreleased NES games. One being called Battlefields of Napoleon, which was already set to be launched, but never made the light of day. And the other one is a tech demo for the Power Glove made by Rare. So basically what the tech demo would have been was basically to show investors and stuff like that the power of the Power Glove. Investors. So did the Power Glove come out? I'm too young for this.
I think people owned it, no?
I right? That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, it's just like this is some interesting like history shit just to see.
The Power Glove was one of those things that came out but was like expensive, like only people that like had money really kind of had it.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking too, is just like the Power Glove was just maybe a peripheral that was rarely used, but I don't know. But anyways,
it's a paraphernalia you'll never use.
Yes. But yeah, just reading this this whole thing, this article from The Verge, talking to Frank, really kind of puts it into the whole perspective of like video games, especially old ones, should be put down in like places to preserve them. He talks about how like that they don't plan on selling these. They plan on putting this out to the public so people can view it and people can actually experience them or like see what these games are, because they are a part of history. They are a part that like, some people don't talk about, or like could have been like the next innovation, or a thing that could have been the next possibility in gaming, essentially. So like I said, this is why I'm asking about like the Power Glove of like, did it come out? Because who knows? Maybe in another timeline, the Power Glove could have been like the biggest thing for Nintendo, and we could have been playing a Switch on our forearms. Who knows? But yeah, it just puts into focus that like gaming preservation is much needed. And obviously, a lot of companies are not going to make the effort to preserve games because we've basically gone and talked about fucking Jim Ryan, fucking Nintendo, fucking Ubisoft.
Jim Ryan fucked Nintendo?
Jim Ryan is fucking Nintendo, and they hate video games. They hate old games. Exactly. Glad you put it into the light, Howler. Glad you got it out to the people. And then yeah, they talk about like the digital storefronts, and they talk about Stadia for a little bit, how that is like not good for gaming preservations. But even then, they even talk about how physical material, physical games can also be a part of something that can just disintegrate at a point, but it's gonna take forever. It's gonna take a good while to like old games, for old games to die. But the reason why they're going for these 2 specific games is because these games can have chip rot, which is a thing I completely forgot about. But yeah, it can actually happen. But hopefully if they get these games, they're able to get the software off them and preserve that. So yeah, that's why I put up this this article, because it's just this little interesting tidbit of history. Do you guys like the NES? That's the question.
Yeah, of course. I still have my NES. I still have my SNES. I still have my N64. I have all my like Nintendo systems still. I love them all.
All right, but you never got the Power Glove?
No, we were poor. We had like 3 Mario games.
Wow, you could have traded in those Mario games for a Power Glove. Think about that. Okay, he's thinking about it. So moving on from history, you know what else is historical or could be historical? If a person is able to unlock some premium shit in multiverses for the Halloween event. Basically to TLDR it, fucking Multiverses is having their Halloween event, which is really weird to look at, but like you can earn candy, which you can spend it on two skins and an emote and a profile icon.
So yeah.
Go ahead.
Isn't this about like you gotta play like 800 games or something, right?
Yes. So there's somebody did the math and was like, yeah, if you want to do this by yourself, you got to play at least 800 games and win all of them in order to get the amount of currency needed to unlock all these Halloween exclusive content thingies. But there are two ways you can do it. You can either have a premium skin applied, or not even and have another person play with you and have them have a premium skin on them as well, in which the amount goes to 300 to almost 400 games, but if you win all of them. So I don't know how to feel about this because I'm not really into multiverses. I kind of copped out. But I'm very interested to hear people talk about this. If there's nobody that's gonna be fucking playing this game for 800 matches, because also with the math is that like you got to play like 26 matches a day for the entire month of October, and win all of them. So that's the thing where I'm just like, I don't think anybody's gonna be doing that, but it just seems, I don't know, a little scummy in a way. But I like I said, I can't really have a stance on it because of the fact that I don't play this game.
I mean, remember, there's people that are actually gonna do all that.
I know. It makes me scared for them. I don't know. Have you guys played Multiverses or...
Nope.
No, okay. Howler?
Played 3 matches. I don't like it because it doesn't feel like Smash Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's not supposed to because it's supposed to be a different game. But I don't know. It's like 50-50 for me. I think 800 fucking matches within, what is it? How many days? Do you remember?
31 days. Over the month of October.
So I had to grind for something in Fortnite kind of like this.
Oh god. Was it Goku?
Nah, it was a Wolverine skin back in the day.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And I spent I actually did the day numbers of like how many hours I would have to play the fucking game. And like it got to the point where I was like quite literally like sick and tired of like turning on a console and touching a controller. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it felt like a chore.
Bad.
It felt like a chore.
Yeah. Which definitely makes gaming so unfun. So I wouldn't recommend it. Honestly, man, like that was probably the last season I wanted to play Fortnite too, which is like kind of adding to it, but whatever, you know.
Because is Fortnite is that practice still being done by Fortnite, or has it kind of like eased up a little bit? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can kind of expect that from free to play games, obviously, because I think overall, if people do want to get these, this content, they're probably just gonna pay for the currency and that's it, and call it a day. But if somebody were to actually do all this, damn, they gotta, I don't know, they gotta be really up for this, because I can't imagine doing all this shit, especially for a game. Well, like I said, it's a game that I don't really necessarily care about, but if you really care about it, then you gotta really care about it. You really,
honestly, man, just buy the fucking shit. It's probably a pay option. I would just do that.
Yeah, but that's crazy. I there's something about that I kind of like, about like kind of putting the math perspective on like free content. Well, not free content, but like free to play content like that. Because I think there was another thing we talked about like what was it? Fucking Diablo Immortal, where like somebody did the math and like getting like what was it, like epic items and stuff like that.
Wait, sorry, what?
Wow. Wow. No, that we talked about Diablo Immortal, like and somebody did the math on that about like how to get like epic armor and stuff like that, that like it was a crazy amount of grinding that you had to put in, but also on top of that, like the amount of money that goes into it, like it was a very interesting like um thing that somebody, like I said, did the math for. So yeah, I don't know, like I said, Multiverses has its audience. They're probably buy the currency to get the stuff that they want, but yeah, don't really. I don't care. Not to sound harsh, but like I, you know, I'm not playing the game. I only care because Gizmo is in there, but that's it. Because I love Gremlins. Speaking of Gremlins, actually no, that's yeah. Speaking of franchises, Invincible. You guys seen the show? You guys know about the comics?
Nope.
Yeah.
I know of it.
Okay, so Invincible is probably gonna get a game. So there was an interview with Skybound, the publishing company for Invincible, talking about its anniversary. Essentially, they plan on doing tabletop games, collectibles, and video games for Invincible, which is pretty cool. Don't know what they might do in Invincible, you know, because we still haven't gotten season 2 of the show. But if they were to do like an Invincible game, I would be interested in what they do. Because it would have to be fucking invincible. It would have to be the main character. Because, you know, the fucking title of the fucking series is based off the main character. But anyways, I like Invincible. I like Invincible's world. I already know the ending of Invincible and like some of like the key pivotal moments that happens in it, but I'm still excited for like season 2 and like how the show goes from there, because the show did a little bit of changes in it that even fans of the book, of the comic book, were like, oh, that's an interesting twist. So yeah, like I said, I'm very interested in where it goes as a franchise. Oh yeah, Invincible. You guys like Invincible? Well, Wesley hates
Nah, I
it.
never watched it.
Never saw.
I just
Wow,
know all the stuff about it.
really? You guys haven't watched it? It's pretty good.
No.
Doesn't look fun.
Wow. Okay. All right. Guess we're doing that then. You
I
guys
don't know.
watch?
I mean,
You
there's
guys
something
watch
about like,
The Boys?
nah.
Well, guess I'm alone in this one.
Yep.
It's things that like I kind of want to watch, but I never really, like in my own head, it never took off. I was never like, this thing looks amazing. I was just like, yeah, everyone's talking about it. It does sound like it's good.
I've heard of Invincible before the show came out, and I was like, oh, it was one of those series that like I was kind of interested in and buying like a paperback version of it, but I never got into it. It's like the same thing with Preacher. Like I have all the books now, but I haven't read it. I hear the show is pretty good, but I hear the show goes in a completely different direction. Same thing with Amazon's The Boys. The Boys is pretty good. The comics are also pretty alright, depending who you ask. But the show has gone in a completely different direction that is just like it's its own separate thing that people are still enjoying. So I don't know. I don't know. Like I want more people to experience like, well, specifically Invincible, because Invincible is just really, really the show itself is really well done. Um, you know, Steven Yeun as the main character Mark is like, it makes me realize that like Steven Yeun is a very good voice actor. Like he's very, very good. Um, J.K. Simmons is also really good as Omni Man. Uh, who is it? Fucking there's a lot of like big big actors in this show, but they're also like the direction that they're doing with the voices is like really well done. Like it doesn't feel like it's all phoned in. Like it's all well done. But even then, J.K. Simmons does voice acting roles as well, so he's good, even though he just sounds like J.K. Simmons. Anyways, you're getting pictures of Spider-Man. So which one to go with? I guess I'll go with the Valve one. You want to take this away? Anybody?
Absolutely not.
Uh, is this the last one, right?
No, there's one more after this one. Valve.
Huh?
The only Valve one I see is for the Office one, the Neon.
Yes, that one.
Yeah, that's the last one.
No, I said there's one more.
That's the one that's
I
at the
meant
bottom.
the
That's why.
last one at the pinned messages.
Oh, okay. Well, there's one more after that one.
God, this guy doesn't even know what pinned messages look like.
You know,
Leslie,
because
we're working with a hack. Just know that, all right?
I'm trying to keep you
anymore. Jesus,
I'm trying to keep you guys. Keep you guys engaged. No, Wesley, you go for it.
Nope.
Wow.
You belittled me for saying the last one. Nope.
Yep, I'm also protesting now. Don't give this guy $4,000 to talk.
Canceled.
Wow. Wow.
Literally canceled.
Wow. How will I financially recover from this?
You
wow.
won't.
All right. I guess I'll keep talking about this because the last one I wanted,
right.
the last topic I wanted to take, but here we are. So, Valve. You guys like Valve? You got them Steam decks? You got them Steam accounts?
Yeah, Steam. I was actually about to buy
Steam Deck.
Steam Deck, yeah.
Bro,
I was
same.
definitely about to steal. I mean, buy a Steam Deck.
And forgetting.
Yeah, it's crazy because you can buy the mid version and you can upgrade it for cheaper than getting the super high end version. But the only difference with the high end version is that memory space that you're getting initially and an anti-glare glass for the screen and a better carrying case. But that's basically it. And then the dock just came out for the Steam Deck. So you can dock your deck. But anyways, so basically Valve hasn't done anything anything gaming wise. They've only done peripheral stuff and maybe one or two things gaming, but not anything specifically as big as Half-Life, because Half-Life is their property. So this new thing came out saying that Valve files Neon Prime trademark for new video game software. So this thing is two specific things. It is an online game, which they basically had to explain, saying that what was it? That it has online capabilities. And then the other thing is that it is a computer game software. So besides that, there's really nothing else from it. They filed this thing on the 10th of October. But who knows? The speculation is that Valve is getting back into making games. Like I said, people love fucking Half-Life. They love Half-Life 2 specifically. And Half-Life 3 was on the wait for, and then eventually Half-Life Alyx came out, which that was a smash hit for VR, but other than that, like I said, Half-Life Alyx is a game that's just meant for VR specifically. So there hasn't been anything for computers and gaming stuff like that. So here's hope into the endeavors of Valve. But the other question, the other thing that people are speculating is this possibly a Steam Deck exclusive game? So there's that. Which I don't think would make any sense.
I was gonna say, it might be a Steam exclusive game.
It's going to be a Steam exclusive. It's going to be Steam exclusive, but yeah, but the Steam Deck I don't think is that.
Well, let's hold on a second, real quick, because remember, Steam games have gone to PlayStation, Xbox, blah blah blah. So
that's true.
Not of course it's gonna be, but I mean it's. I assume it'll be Steam exclusive for a certain amount of time, right? And then they'll bring it somewhere else if they want to.
Yeah, I think you might be right about that because, like you said, there has been Steam games on other consoles and other companies' hardware. Um, yeah, I think that's also. I'm kind of glad that we're living in this era of like where exclusivities kind of don't mean anything at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Where things can come out, for a thing for a limited time and then
Yeah.
eventually come out for everything. But yeah, like I said, who the hell knows? Because I think one thing that they did was like a tech demo for the Steam Deck, which was the Aperture Desk thing. Do you guys remember this?
Nope.
It was a little like thing that was like in the world of Portal. We were working at a desk, and this was I think like a kind of a little game that was supposed to act like as a tech demo for the Steam Deck. It's still up on Steam, but I haven't played it. But people said it was pretty fun. Uh, but I think overall, what is Neon Prime? That is the big question. Who knows? Will we hear anything about this?
I would bet you see something at the Game Award thing.
Game
maybe.
Awards? Yeah, possibly. Yeah, Game Awards is like I believe the last thing before the end of this year for gaming stuff, gaming related that they can push out because I forget. I don't remember what's after that. I don't really think there's anything around wintertime for gaming. Or like maybe spring, but like even then. Yeah, maybe most likely we'll probably see something at the Game Awards. Maybe. Uh but you know what you guys should be hyped for?
God of War 3.
Yeah, God of War 3.2 the remake. But fuck that shit. You know what's cooler than Kratos and the God of War?
Not much.
Rats.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah,
Not much.
rats. Rats are so fucking cool. A Plague Tale Requiem is coming out the 24th. I pre-ordered my copy. It's not gonna come out until a week later, but I can wait. Uh But this little news story from VGC said that some people are getting their copies a little early, a little too early. That some spoilers came about. Luckily, I was able to avoid any spoilers. I really haven't seen anything. But that's kind of shitty that people just decide to spoil the game. I think there was also that there've been a lot of shit like that happening with games that release early. It's just people like, let me ruin the game for you, even though it hasn't come out yet, which kind of sucks. I think the one thing that comes to mind is the Last of Us 2 leak that happened, where people were like showing off because like I think like the entirety of the game's script was shown and like people saw the ending, but I don't think I saw the ending for that. I don't know if they changed it or not in game, but I have to. I don't know. I don't know if I could find like the original source of that. But yeah, spoilers. Spoilers suck. Rats cool. You guys excited for Rats?
You already know I'm not. You already know I hate this
Nah,
thing.
Guess what, you sons of bitches? I'm gonna be playing that shit on stream.
Yeah, of course you will.
Cause Rats.
Nah.
I need.
If you could make sure you give me the time and day that it's happening, so that I don't have to watch it, that'd be great.
All right, I won't let you know.
It's weird because someone who has cats is interested in rats.
Yeah, I don't hate rats.
Yeah, rats.
But cats eat rats
They just chase them.
and eat them.
They don't eat them.
And they eat them.
Oh my god, Leslie! You know this is how much you're showing about you don't know anything about cats or rats. Because did you know that the Pope can control rats?
I hate it here. Why do we do this? Why do you make me remember stupid rat cat game? Fuck the cat game.
You think that shit's stupid? Well, that shit reminded me of JoJo, and that's why I love it. Because your standability is rats. Think about that.
Thanks.
Do you remember part 4, Wesley?
No.
You don't remember part 4 of JoJo when they fight the rats?
No.
Oh, okay. I love that shit. All right, so that's it for the news, guys. We did it. We got through the news week. There's a couple of breaking news that happened. One thing that I just want to point out. Well, two things. There's a Silent Hill game teaser that's going to be happening the 19th of this month. Because Konami just put out a whole tweet about it. There's speculation that this might be the thing that was rated in Korea. So, fuck knows what the fuck this thing is. And the second thing that was also breaking, G4 is dead. You guys remember G4?
I thought that was old. Yeah, I remember that.
It had a revival, and then it died. Again. I think it came out literally this year. And yeah, it died. There's more to the story. I probably have to read a little bit more, but yeah, that was breaking news. A year. It literally is a year. Basically, to put this down, a memo that was put down was Deadline.com was able to put down team. As you know, G4 was reintroduced last year to tap into the popularity of gaming. We invested to create the new G4 as an online and TV destination for fans to be entertained, be inspired, and connect with the gaming content. Over the past several months, we worked hard to generate that interest in G4, but viewership is low and the network has not achieved sustainable financial results. This is certainly not what we hoped for, and as a result, we have made the very difficult decision to discontinue G4's operations, effective immediately. I know this is disappointing news, and I'm disappointed too. I want to thank you and everyone on G4's team for the hard work and commitment to the network. Our human resources teams is reaching out to you to provide you with support, discuss other opportunities that may be available, and answer any questions you may have. Thank you again for all your hard work at G4. Sincerely, Dave Scott, Chairman and CEO, Comcast Spectator. Anyways, the CEO. Yeah, they shut that shit down. Which is kind of unfortunate because like I've been seeing a lot of previous like gaming people on G4. The completionist was also in there, Gerard. I know that I saw Abby Russell, who used to be part of Giant Bomb, was also part of the team at G4. And yeah, they were trying to get like a lot of like people in that industry to come and work at G4. But I remember, do you guys remember the backlash that happened at G4?
I barely remember G4, so no.
No, not like before. Like this happened like a couple months ago.
No.
Okay, so there was a thing that happened where one of the hosts at G4 was this woman, or I don't remember her specific pronouns, but basically people were giving her a hard time because they said that she was not attractive on TV. So what happened afterwards was that she came on one of the segments at G4 and basically created a whole rant about how essentially she's not jerk off material for these people. It was essentially very confrontational, which I think at a PR standpoint would have better been just avoided completely, to ignore the comments. But I know there's some people that can't necessarily ignore that kind of stuff. But a lot of people were saying that G4 just wasn't making the rounds, and on top of that, to have this host to come out and say, you know, confrontational stuff like that just kind of killed it for them. But you know, I wouldn't say that specific thing was the reason for the downfall for G4. I think it's just nobody really cared about G4, especially coming back now. You know, I remember back in the day, like watching a little bit of Attack of the Show, and watching a little bit of like some G4 stuff. But you know, this was before like obviously YouTube was big, and we have gaming channels to talk about specific gaming stuff, video essays and things like that, review sites. So I think at this point, like G4 was not needed, but they decided to make a comeback because I think just for nostalgia. I think that was essentially just it. So yeah, G4 dead. Kind of feel bad for the completionist because like I remember he talked about this, or he was like, I'm really excited to be part of the team at G4, and then dead. Dead G4. You guys have any G4 memories?
I used to love Attack of the Show. Actually, used to watch this only when I used to go see my grandma. I know it's really weird, but like, was when I was younger, I didn't know. My grandmother lived in Jersey, and I didn't know anyone here because I would go from one state to another, so I don't know anyone in the state except for my family, and I was just like, would go in the room when it's like nothing to do. Like grandma doesn't want to hang out, she'll go out. Grandpa's like do whatever, right? So just like go watch G4, and I was like, it was literally the station that was like, these are the games you have coming out. These are the reason to play these games or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like there are some good memories of G4, but like
I said, I that's what I'm saying. Like I enjoyed the shit out of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there was also another weird thing where like Adam Sessler was saying some weird ass shit on Twitter. I forget what he said, but he was saying some like weird ass remarks, and people were like really pissed off about what he said. But anyways, he was still at G4. I don't know what the fuck he was doing before that.
Sessler's soapbox.
Adam Sessler, B. Sesselin. You, Wesley, you got any G4 memories?
Like I said, I barely remember what.
All right, so just me and Howler.
So that's a no. No, he does.
That's
not.
a no. That's a no.
Yeah, I gave you his answer before. Wow.
No, he was like murmur, and I was like,
Like I said, I don't remember.
You excited for Rat Game? And you're like murmur, and I was like, yeah, you excited for Rat
horrible.
Game?
Nobody cares about it. Go away.
What are you talking about, bro? Step bro, like Rat Game. Please buy Rat Game.
No, Rat Game's bad.
No, you're bad because you don't like Rat Game.
This guy's like the Pope is gonna play as a rat. Cool. Great.
No, you fight the Pope at the end of the first game, and then you punch the Pope and beat him with your rats. You grab the rat and start hitting the Pope with the rat.
So good night.
Yeah, all right, we're done. Episode over. All right, guys. So that's it for this episode. We'll be back some other time with another episode.
All right, guys.
In
bye.
17 weeks.
Oh God, he's gone. All right, bye.
Bye.